Oh, 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 girl. I can't sleep at night, I toss and turn, listening for the telephone. But when I get your call, I'm all choked up. Can't believe you called my home. And as a matter of fact, it blows my mind you would even talk to me. Cause a girl like you is like a dream come true, real life fantasy. No matter what your friends try to tell you, we were made to fall in love. We gon' be together in any kind of weather. It's like that, it's like that, yeah. Every little step I take, yeah, you gon' be there. Every little step I make, we'll be together. Every little step I take, you gon' be there. Every little step I make, we'll be together. I can't sleep at night, I toss and turn, listening for the telephone. But when I get your call, I'm all choked up. Can't believe you called my home. And as a matter of fact, it blows my mind you would even talk to me. Cause a girl like you is like a dream come true, real life fantasy. No matter what your friends try to tell you, we were made to fall in love. And we gon' be together in any kind of weather. It's like that, it's like that, yeah. Every little step I take,
little shit like that lets me further know what it is you really do.
A bullshit?
I done made a motherfucking cover. And everything. I don't know why I did it this way. I didn't mean to start it so quick. I forgot I was starting already. What it do, y'all? What it do, y'all? I'm your host with the motherfucking most, Chill Motherfucking Murray. You are now tuned to live from the spot. Shout out to everybody tuned in, not tuned in. You know how we do and how we rock. Happy New Year to everybody. It is New Year's too on the East Coast. Happy New Year's, Medusa. Mr. Misa. Hold on, let me get myself on here. Let me get myself on here. Let me get myself here. All right. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Good evening. Good evening to all. As you can see, I'm in the motherfucking living room now. I'm in the living room right now. You like the setup? Camera look even better. Camera looks a lot better. Shout out to DJ Bear Gang with the good lighting right now. He done hooked the brother up with the lighting in the living room. So I said, you know what? We gonna come out here and shoot. Look a little bit more crispy now. I was like, oh, I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. But once again, Happy New Year's to everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right. Everybody's outside safe or inside safe. I was just texting who I needed to text real quick and say Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to them. I know everybody else is going to be in the chat soon. Just make sure I do that. Let certain people know. Let certain people know that we live. You like the intro? You like that the Bobby Brown, Every Little Step I Take? I don't know if I feel like should put a little background on. It just feels too quiet. You feel too quiet. It feels too quiet. Feels too quiet. Feels too quiet. All right. Let me see. Do do do. Let me see. Let me see. I already know that they probably gonna get me, but it's fine. It's fine. It just don't make sense to me. This quiet in the background. It's nothing but ambience. Just feels like it's nothing but ambience right now. What's going on, everybody? What's everybody plans for the new year? Is everybody inside? Everybody outside? What's going on with y'all? Y'all let me know in the chat. I know some people are here. Some people are still doing their thing right now. That is okay. That is okay. All right, let me just do this. Here we go. All right, much better, much better, much better, much better. That way the vibe don't sound so ambient, you know. Yeah, I might be able to hear my my heater going, but that's okay too. That's okay too. All right, so I guess we'll start this off with a rest in peace to Isaac Whitlock, famous actor Isaac Whitlock. Some of y'all know him, some of y'all don't. I believe most of y'all have known this man here, Isaac Whitlock. Mr. Isaac Whitlock died at the age of 71. Famous for being in The Wire, in Veep. The American actor Isaiah Whitlock Jr., who played corrupt politician on HBO crime drama The Wire, had roles in numerous Spike Lee films, died at the age of 71 Tuesday. His manager said, "It is with tremendous sadness that I share the passing of my dear friend and client Isaiah Whitlock Jr. If you knew him, you loved him. A brilliant actor, an even better person," Brian Liebman wrote on social media. Whitlock delighted audiences as slimy politician Clay Davis on action-packed drama The Wire, based on former journalist David Simon's gritty tales from the seedy underbelly of drug trafficking and criminal politicking in Baltimore, Maryland. I was trying to see if they had the cause of death here. We won't even sadden the rest of the part. We'll just say rest in peace to Mr. Isaiah Whitlock. We know he lived a very long and fulfilling life. A long and fulfilling life. Did anybody see Stranger Things? Did anybody see Stranger Things? Anybody out here watch Stranger Things? Let me pull up the chat in the on my phone here. Sometimes my chats show up a little bit faster. On here than it does anything else. Let me make sure I got the chat up on here too. I see a live chat in the box there. All right. Well, if anybody did or did not see Stranger Things, as you guys know, the finale. Salute. What's going on, DJ Big Game? What's going on? As you can see, I'm out here in the living room. God bless. Thank you on the lighting. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. I'm utilizing things. As you can see, I'm utilizing things. But yeah. What was I say? Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Stranger Things. So the finale of Stranger Things was this evening. And very, very, very emotional ending. King Osmond, what's going on? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you as well. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. It's still 11. It's 11:20 for me. New Year don't start for another 40 minutes for me, but I guess I'm starting early. You know. So Happy New Year to everybody. It is New Year too. You know, cheers to you. And like I said, tonight was the Stranger Things finale, and pretty good show. I will say it was a pretty damn good show. Wasn't the director actually said it wasn't gonna be no surprise deaths or anything like that, or you know, wasn't gonna be like a Game of Thrones type of ending where everybody just getting their shit just, you know, pushed back for the most part. Just finished watching it. Yeah, the crazy thing was I was saying to myself, well, damn, most of what I needed to see happen in the first, spoiler alert, most of what I needed to see happen in the first goddamn hour and a half. I was like, why y'all dragging on this last little 40 minutes? All right, I get it. This is why it's 2 hours. Hey, we gotta send everybody off their correct emotional way. That's what I felt. They have to send everybody off their correct emotional way. But for the most part, like I said, anything that needed to happen happened in the first hour and a half. Just so you need to know. You gotta sit through the whole goddamn 2 hours to know what the hell happened. I won't spoil it for too many people that did not see it or still want to see it. But yeah, the first hour and a half told me a lot. I was like, well, shit, this is a whole once you know what I'm saying, a homie got what he was gonna get. I was like, all right, well, why y'all gonna make me sit here for another hour? What the fuck else gotta happen? And then they showed up. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this gotta happen. I was like, oh, this is how they're gonna send off the homie. Double one. This is how they're gonna send the homie off. I was like, oh, all right, I get it. Then it was the, I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying, you're crying. And then they had to do the Purple Rain. Purple Rain. Purple Rain did it. If Purple Rain don't do it, if Purple Rain don't send the tears, if Purple Rain don't turn on the hydrant, bro, I don't know what else does. Yeah, I was hoping that too. I was hoping that too, but he surprised me as well. I mean, it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. I mean, he had his moment in the last episode where he came out the closet, and it was like, all right, did we really have to add this to the show? That's what I kept saying to myself. Like, did we really have to add this to the show? I mean, I get the reasoning behind it, but we didn't had enough of it throughout the season. These sporadic moments, like this whole season was about people coming out the closet and whatnot. I'm like, what? Why y'all keep putting this in these shows? This shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing. He got to have a whole speech. So I'm like, what? I'm like, for what, man? But anywho, I saw the funny ass meme. Let me see if I can pull it out right here. The funny ass meme of Holly, find your way. Oh, find your way. I don't know why I got it in caps. Yeah, this was hilarious. This was hilarious. Find your way out. Believe in yourself, Holly. Holly falling from the sky. Oh! That was pretty damn funny. Cause that's life. That is life right there. They tell you, follow your way, find your way. Follow the light. Believe in yourself. Your whole life is you falling out the goddamn sky like Holly. Oh! Because you don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's gonna happen out there. That's right. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's the thing. I was hoping. I was kind of hoping whatchamacallit was going to make it out still, but I knew, So the thing about Stranger Things, not to get too much into that part of the land, because I'll be here all day talking about that part. If you notice, there's a lot of MK Ultra roots to Stranger Things, especially with the way they had. Perfect example, right? The star of the show, 11. Okay, so 11. You have Henry, who's number 1, who's the first of his kind. Pretty much these kids that were very special as far as having these psychosis powers, telekinesis, and they were pretty much MK Ultra projects from the military. You see that throughout the entire show, pretty much. That whole story unravels, whatever. So it's kind of cool to see that, again, these little tidbits, these little things that they show in these different TV shows and TV series and movies, that correlate with real life. Because we all know about the projects they do on people, the actual military projects they do on people in real life. We studied those, so that's one of the things about Stranger Things that draws me to it. As far as it has a real life aspect to it. It's not just a novel in a book. It's some things that actually happen in real life. Based on that one's definitely based on a true story. Stranger Things. So yeah, pretty good finale. Pretty good finale. It was a tearjerker. Definitely a tearjerker. I won't, like I said, for those that did not see it already, I won't spoil what happens in it. Too tough. But yeah, it's a tearjerker. Definitely a tearjerker. Definitely a tearjerker. What else we got? What we got here? So, Mr. Tyler Perry. Mr. Tyler Perry has his second lawsuit. His second motherfucking lawsuit. And if you know about the first one. I don't think anybody here is surprised that Tyler Perry is getting sued for this shit. I don't think anybody here is surprised that he getting sued for these Diddy-like actions. We talking about a man that is famous for. We ain't talking about Grandmama famous. We talking about some Oprah Winfrey famous for being in the dress and talking like an old grandma. His whole thing is pretty much emasculating the black man. His whole brand is that. Now you can say, oh, Tyler Perry did a lot for the community. Tyler Perry did a lot for this and that and the third. But the underlying truth still, goes with how he got those charitable royalties that he gets to play with. Juju, what's going on? What's going on? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you as well. But how he got that money still went along the path of the evil. So let us journey into that real quick.
Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me, but I do apologize. And I'm speaking up now.
Now a second man, model Mario Rodriguez, is suing Tyler Perry, accusing the actor of sexual assault and alleging a disturbing...
Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me, but I do apologize. And I'm speaking up now.
Now a second man, model Mario Rodriguez, is suing Tyler Perry, accusing the actor of sexual assault and alleging a disturbing pattern of manipulation. And his lawsuit alleges something deeply specific, that Perry allegedly reenacted a famous Good Will Hunting therapy scene in order to target him with past trauma. This lawsuit also names Lionsgate, accusing the studio of enabling Perry's alleged behavior. We have the filing. It includes alleged text messages we're seeing for the first time. We have the complaint. We're going to break it all down for you right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, here's the truth. I don't know if we'd be able to put these episodes together if it wasn't for the incredible support that we get from our sponsors, and that includes Morgan & Morgan. This is America's largest personal injury law firm. This is a firm with over 1,000 attorneys who have recovered $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. Think about that. In the past few months, a client in Florida received $12 million when insurance offered just $350,000. Out in Pennsylvania, another client was awarded $26 million. That is 40 times the insurer's offer. And Morgan & Morgan, they make it easy to fight for what you deserve. You can even start a claim from your phone. So if you're injured, you can start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC sidebar. You can click the link below, or you can scan the QR code on screen. Have you ever gotten that call, the one that promises to change your whole life? You know, the big break, the dream opportunity, something you have been waiting for your entire life, right? For one model in Los Angeles, that call reportedly came from a Hollywood billionaire, allegedly promising fame, a movie role, a future, opportunities. But instead, he claims this all turned into a nightmare of manipulation, unwanted advances, and sexual assault over a period of time. Now, the man on the other end of that phone, familiar name if you've been following us here on Sidebar, we're talking about Tyler Perry, the filmmaker, the producer behind Medea, massive entertainment empire, and the person accusing him now is model Mario Rodriguez. He is now suing Tyler Perry. Now, the reason that I say this is because as we go into these shocking claims and the potential legal strength of these claims, I mean, we're talking allegations of sexual assault by Perry, followed by something that I think is going to make your jaw drop. This is not the first time we have talked about Tyler Perry recently. No, we covered Tyler Perry here before, back in June. Another actor, Derek Dixon, filed a $260 million lawsuit in California accusing Perry of essentially quid pro quo sexual harassment and assault. Now, Perry's legal team, they fought back hard. They called it a failed money grab, arguing the case should be thrown out or moved to Georgia. That battle is still playing out, by the way. But now, Perry is facing a second, arguably strikingly similar kind of lawsuit. And that's what we want to go into. Now, this new one was filed just days ago, literally on Christmas Day, December 25th, 2025, in California Superior Court. And this is brought, again, by Mario Rodriguez, a model, an actor who had this very small role in Perry's 2016 film called Boo, A Medea Halloween. And this lawsuit doesn't just name Tyler Perry. It also seemingly targets his production company and Lionsgate, the studio that distributes Tyler Perry's films. So accusing them essentially of knowing about his alleged behavior, enabling it, and benefiting from him. So, by the way, from a legal point of view, from a lawsuit point of view, you usually go after the entities, as that may be where the money, the assets are for purposes of liability and collection. What are the key allegations? What's the main theme here? Rodriguez claims that Perry used the promise of roles, a Hollywood career, to groom him, make sexual advances, touch him, and sexually abuse him. And the suit describes an alleged pattern of isolating him.
Pattern, all right. We done heard this shit about how many different times with how many different millionaires. Shit, it's a whole pattern with them. We ain't gonna talk about it yet.
Into past trauma, escalating physical contact, and explicit propositions. But the details in the complaint, they are very, very specific. They are also graphic, and they follow a disturbing script, for lack of a better word, a script, okay? And that's what we want to go into. We want to go through this story and see if there's a strength to it, strength to these claims, strength to the narrative. So I'm going to walk you through the complaint, basically page by page, and I'm going to read you directly from key sections so you can hear the language that it's used. So the document starts by setting the stage. The second paragraph reads, quote, "Defendant Tyler Perry is a producer-director who wields immense power in the movie industry. Unfortunately, Perry uses his power to abuse and sexually assault people who hope to secure roles in his movies. Perry's type are those who have been victims of childhood traumas in the past. Plaintiff Mario Rodriguez was one of his victims." Now, that's key language because I said at the time, I remember this, when Dixon had filed his lawsuit against Tyler Perry, I wondered, would this lead to more accusers to come forward, right? Was Derek Dixon just a one-off making these allegations, or could this start more people coming forward? It's a two-edged sword when you think about it, right? Perry's position could be, as soon as one person sues, this will open the floodgates for more false accusations. The other side, assuming all the allegations are true, takes one person to come forward against a wealthy, powerful person for others to feel safe to do so. We've seen this back and forth in a lot of high-profile sexual misconduct cases. And I will say, too, this is important to note, Rodriguez is represented by the same lawyer who brought Derek Dixon's claims. We're talking about Jonathan Delshad. We'll get more on that a little bit later. But the core allegation is established immediately. We're talking about an abuse of power targeting vulnerable people. Now, how did Rodriguez enter into Perry's orbit, right? Let's start there. So the complaint says that in 2015, a trainer at an Equinox gym out in Los Angeles approached Rodriguez and told him, quote, that defendant Tyler Perry wanted to meet Mr. Rodriguez and to talk about offering him an acting role. And the complaint alleges that Perry called him that same day. The filing allegedly quotes Perry from that call, saying about the potential role, quote, you know, Mario, I'm not a bad person to know and have in your corner. And the suit states that Rodriguez auditions, quickly gets the part. It reads, clearly the audition was only a formality given.
That's the same exact way that the other case started off with. It was him calling somebody, trying to offer them and persuade them for his own personal benefit, isn't it? It's the same exact way how the other one started off, where he was just trying to, swag talk his way in to dude's pants already. Pretty much how Diddy would do. You know what I mean? This is the same exact way that the other one started off with. Him pretty much offering an acting role and, him giving the personal benefits to him, the personal access to him. This is the stupid shit that some of these rich dudes do, is giving them the personal access to them that even leads down these pipelines of these roads to where it's easy to, to get these lawsuits like this. These guys give the access to them. And it's even easier for these people to come up with the information for the lawsuit with the text messages and things. I guarantee you there's never a string of text messages that this idiot then left behind that pretty much proves he's guilty again, that he's going to have to settle with.
Mr. Perry's position of power and his personal desire to have Mr. Rodriguez work for him. Okay, let's stop right there. So first, if Rodriguez can establish that Perry called him and that this person approached him at Equinox, so you wonder if that person would testify if they're available, that would be key. Does become a question, how does Rodriguez remember, essentially verbatim, what Perry had said? Did he document it in some way? This call is probably not recorded. But an argument could be, it's unusual for Tyler Perry to set all this up, have a communication with a minor player in a film, usually a casting director or a producer would handle that, but I don't know, maybe there's an argument that this is Perry's style. He has ownership on all aspects. He wants to speak to everybody that's involved in the cast. The other way to look at it is this is unusual, and Perry targeted Rodriguez and only got on the part for his own personal reasons. Now, how can they establish the phone call other than through the testimony of Rodriguez? Maybe there's phone records, but obviously it wouldn't be a printout of their conversation. It would rather be just this call took place at that time. But again, we're talking about, 10 years ago. So then the complaint describes things escalating during this solo visit that Rodriguez made to Perry's Los Angeles home. This is key. Now, Rodriguez makes clear that while all of this is going on, he's just really excited for this acting opportunity and to be working with Tyler Perry. So anyway, he allegedly goes over, they have drinks, they go to Tyler Perry's theater room. Now, first, the complaint details this instruction from Perry. He allegedly told Mr. Rodriguez to keep his cell phone in the kitchen because, quote, there are cameras everywhere and they're always listening. By the way, if there really are cameras in his house, is that something that could be obtained through discovery and you can have him on camera saying that? I don't know.
I just realized something, too. He got a type, don't he? Nah, this motherfucker got a type. He got a type. Hold on. Let me show you something. I'm just looking at the pictures here. This is the second guy, right? This is the first one. He didn't got a type. I'm just now peeping this shit. I'm like, hold on, what's with him date these white European men? What European looking dudes? this is his thing, huh? He see what he see one of these white European dudes with the what do you call it? The 5 o'clock shadow. He going in. He his panties getting wet, huh? Tyler Perry. That's his thing. I'm just now peeping that. I'm like, hold up. Both these dudes look alike. All right.
Theater. This is important. The suit alleges that Perry began asking deeply personal questions about Rodriguez's childhood and traumas, and Rodriguez became emotional. The suit alleges, quote, Mr. Perry told him, "You have a lot of trauma in you, and believe it or not, we have a lot in common." Mr. Perry told Mr. Rodriguez to stand up and said, "Come here, man, let me hug you." Mr. Perry hugged Mr. Rodriguez and said, "It's not your fault." Now listen to this, quote, "In the moment, Mr. Rodriguez could not help but feel that Mr. Perry was trying to reenact the famous scene between Matt Damon and Robin Williams from the acclaimed 1997 movie Good Will Hunting." Now, if you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, first of all, you should.
No. Hold up. I gotta see it now. They probably gonna be a copyright or whatever, but let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I find it. Is this it here?
If you're thinking about going,
Of course, it's gonna come with a little ad, but let's see. I had to see if I can find it real quick.
Hey, you're not gonna fail me, are you? What's it say? Wanna read? Why?
It's a whole few minutes. So I can't. I don't know if I can put up the whole thing.
Experience with that?
20 years of counseling.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty awful shit. I mean, have you had any experience with that?
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Sure ain't good.
My father was an alcoholic. Mean fucking drunk. He'd come home hammered, looking to wail on somebody. So I'd provoke him so he wouldn't go after my mother and little brother. Interesting nights were when he wore his rings.
Yeah, he used to just put a wrench, a stick, and a belt on the table and just say choose.
Well, I gotta go with the belt there, Vanna.
I used to go with the wrench.
Why the wrench?
Because fuck him, that's why.
Your foster father.
Yeah. So, what is it, like, Will has an attachment disorder? Is it all that stuff? Fear of abandonment? Is that why I broke up with Skylar?
I didn't know you had.
Yeah, I did.
You wanna talk about it?
No.
Hey, Will. I don't know a lot. You see this? All this shit. This is not your fault.
Yeah, I know that.
Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me, Sean, not you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I guess that's the reaction that Tyler Perry, was hoping to get from dude, but he didn't get that response.
Great movie, but if you haven't, it's a very famous therapy scene where Robin Williams' character repeatedly tells Matt Damon's character, who had been abused in the past, that it's not your fault, pulling him into a hug. There's a really big emotional breakdown. And it's meant to be this moment of deep vulnerability and release, which is why you're having this alleged comparison. It stands out. And I will say that level of unique specificity, that can arguably help with credibility if this goes to trial and Rodriguez takes the stand. It's like so strange and so specific. Could he really make this up? Maybe, maybe not. But you go from there. The complaint describes this encounter taking a turn. This is when, according to Rodriguez, it turns physically invasive, with Perry then allegedly rubbing Rodriguez's shoulders and his chest and making comments. And when Rodriguez sits back down, he claims that Perry sat next to him and began rubbing his inner thigh. Now, Rodriguez claims that he then got up and excused himself, but the suit quotes, or allegedly quotes, Perry as being persistent, saying, just relax. I promise I'm a good guy to know and have in your corner. You just need to relax and stop being so tense. Man, if you just come, I would take care of you for the rest of your life and you wouldn't have to worry about anything, and I know you'll come around. Now, he claims that he ultimately left Perry's house, went home, but what happens next? So he says he goes to Atlanta to film in January 2016. And he says that Perry never sexually assaulted him or attacked him on set, which by
This is going beyond assault, though. This is the harassment now. This is also sexual harassment. Like, he pursued him after, like, wait, what? Like, after you already made the advance and he wasn't with it, he was like, yo, just calm down, man. Just calm down. I promise. This is, this the fork in the road. You make the right. Trust me, I'm the guy you want to be with. What? And understandably so, dude. So you know what? I'm out. I'm all right. I'm ahead. The SpongeBob me. All right, I'm head out. I'm gone. And then you make more advances to the dude afterwards. See, like I said, this goes into, like I said, harassment. This goes beyond, the assault part. Even if we didn't even get to that yet, like he already made the assault with the hand and the thigh shit. Tyler Perry need to go to jail, but we already know how that's going to end.
By the way, also potentially goes to an issue of credibility, right? For someone who may be questioning Rodriguez and questioning if this is true, you could argue, well, if he's claiming that he was assaulted by Tyler Perry, wouldn't he want to, embellish every detail he can? But to say that it started only at this house with his leg being touched, nothing further happening, that nothing happened on set, does it help with credibility, right? Maybe. Now, after the film wrapped, this is when Rodriguez accuses Perry of allegedly continuing to invite Rodriguez over, saying how he might be a good fit for future roles that he's writing. Now, Rodriguez claims that during these visits, they would talk about work, but then also personal things. And from here, he claims that Perry allegedly made sexual comments to him and even asked if he had sex with another man. And then, when Rodriguez apparently said that he was having a baby with his girlfriend, and that Perry allegedly sensed how stressed out Rodriguez was about his financial situation, Perry allegedly said, quote, "If you would just give in to me, I would take care of you. You would never have to worry about anything again." Side note, we don't know if this actually happened. The counter argument to this would be, Tyler Perry really said that? And
I have a baby on the way. What do you mean if I just give in to you? Nigga, I don't want you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Sir, Why? Listen, I got up the first time. Didn't that tell you something? This is, like I said, beyond harassment now. A man done said he has a child on the way, and he's still talking about something. If you just give in to me, like he a vampire from Brooklyn. If you just give in to me, my love, I promise everything will be okay. No, this isn't how this works. I don't want you. There's not. Listen, I have a girl. I have a girlfriend, sir. Shoo, get the fuck on.
That specific language that could help your legal claims? Maybe, maybe not. Again, it's all going to come down to credibility and how can they back it up. But Perry also allegedly shared, and this is important, that he himself, quote, was sexually molested as a kid. And the complaint argues that he was using that shared trauma as a tactic to build trust before making more sexual advances.
And this is why we can't let R. Kelly out of jail. This is why we don't let niggas like R. Kelly and Diddy out of jail. Because the same shit. I don't care about... Listen, we understand that y'all went through shit as a kid with the molestation and whatnot. That don't mean you got to grow up with the same shit and bring that trauma to everybody else. It don't. You don't need to be, even if you was molested as a kid. They say do unto others as you would have done unto you. Did you like that? I would hope not. So if the trauma is that you didn't like it, the fuck is you bringing it to somebody else for? That's just my house.
And then he claims that Tyler Perry sexually assaulted him, like allegedly grabbing his leg right by his private area and allegedly saying, it's all right. Now, there is no way to truly corroborate that unless there are cameras in the home.
That's like Donald Trump, right? Grab him by the pussy. Dude said, grab him right by the balls. You are mine. It's okay. Do you know how quick a right, fuck a jab, you know how quick an uppercut would have came? That nigga would have been through a wall. I'm trying to tell you. This is why I keep saying, I would have not been able to make it in Hollywood. I would have not made it. I wouldn't have. Because as soon as they try to call me to the casting couch, and it's this type of nigga doing this type of shit to me, I'm putting him through the camera. I'm putting him through the wall. Listen, you going to be seeing me. That's what they're going to show on TMZ. Crazy, aspiring artist drags producer through the studio. That's what you're going to see my TMZ clip of. Crazy, aspiring artist and actor drags executive producer such and such through the studio, literally by his collar, and destroys all type of equipment, leaves a bloody... I'm telling you, they're going to put me away. Like, no, this is gonna, because like 50 said, I'm scared I'm gonna hurt you. I'm scared I'm gonna hurt you.
Or it's just the testimony of Rodriguez. This is not like a rape case, right, where you're talking about maybe DNA or forensics, even though that might be difficult from such a long time ago. But this is really, again, a question of credibility. Now, this is the next part. When Rodriguez claims that he refused these alleged sexual advances, he claims all the acting roles dried up. The suit states plainly, quote, because Mr. Rodriguez continually rejected Mr. Perry's sexual advances and assaults, Mr. Perry never hired him for Medea's Halloween 2, despite all their conversations for new roles for Rodriguez. Then we go to this key moment, this key incident that allegedly happened. It's talked about in the complaint, that allegedly happened in November of 2018. So after a dinner where Perry allegedly discussed a role for Rodriguez in the Oval show, the Oval series. By the way, Rodriguez said that he was reluctant to go to this dinner in the first place, but thought, you know what, this is a restaurant, it's a public place. He was thinking of his career. And that's important because if Rodriguez takes this to trial and is cross-examined by Perry's attorney about, you claim you're sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, why did you keep coming back if this were true? Well, now he would try to explain it. It's career advancement. I was trying to help my career. I was maybe hoping that this wouldn't happen again, that I'd have a safe place. You know, I'm trying to think of my career. I'm trying to think of my family. Anyway, going back to this. After the dinner, Rodriguez claims that Perry invited him, again, over to his house. And by the way, there is a text exchange that's embedded in this complaint that arguably confirms this meetup at the house. There, the suit describes Perry allegedly making explicit sexual propositions. When Rodriguez goes to the kitchen, the suit alleges, quote, Mr. Perry followed Mr. Rodriguez to the kitchen. Then, Mr. Perry tightly hugged Mr. Rodriguez and repeatedly told him to, quote, hold on, while Mr. Perry tried to unbuckle Mr. Rodriguez's pants. And the complaint then states, it alleges, that Perry then grabbed Rodriguez in the genital area. And Rodriguez allegedly said no. He was able to struggle free, and then he apparently calls Uber to go home, and as he waits for his ride, the suit describes this alleged sequence. Quote, Mr. Perry tried to apologize for his sexual assault, telling Mr. Rodriguez, hey, my bad, my bad. Mr. Perry, afraid of consequences for his sexual assaults, then stepped away for a minute, returned, and stuffed $5,000 into Mr. Rodriguez's pocket. So, from there, the complaint claims that the next month, Perry invited Rodriguez over again to his house, and there was another embedded conversation, text exchange, seemingly suggesting that. Now, I'm going to read you this next part verbatim from the complaint. I think it's important. Quote, Mr. Rodriguez agreed to go over because Perry had made him believe that Perry was sorry for assaulting him. The $5,000 and reaching out back to him about the situation and making light of it was a sign of Perry's understanding of his guilt and of the mistake Perry made. Even though a lucid Rodriguez would be concerned about a worse assault, Rodriguez could not get past the potential of living his dream of being a movie star and the fame and fortune that would accompany him that was being dangled in front of him. Again, very, very important if he's cross-examined about why he kept going back. Now, Rodriguez claims, though, that while at Perry's house, Perry allegedly massaged his shoulders, gave him long hugs, talked about sexual things, and then sprinkled in some stuff about work. And he claims that he would leave the house before things escalated. From there, the suit claims, after another unwanted advance, namely allegedly forcing his hand on Perry's private area in 2018 or 2019, so this is a separate incident. Again, Rodriguez claims he went over to the house because this was his only way to break into the industry, and that Perry allegedly said they were going to talk about potential roles. It says, the complaint says, quote, Perry once again apologized and stuffed another $5,000 in cash in Mr. Rodriguez's pocket and sent him away. Now, after Rodriguez apparently finally cut off contact with Tyler Perry, the complaint includes these apparent text messages from June 2019 seemingly showing Perry's frustration. So if these are in fact messages between Perry and Rodriguez, okay, assuming that's what these are, Perry allegedly texts him, quote, I haven't heard from you. And when Rodriguez apologized, Perry allegedly responded, I deserve a text at least once a month. There's also alleged texts from Tyler Perry that say, good night, F off, wanted to give you much S, you never text unless something is going on. A text saying, no, you're busy, just saying hi is what all my friends do. And in the end, Rodriguez claims that he never got additional work from Tyler Perry. And the lawsuit claims that Rodriguez decided to come forward in 2025 with his allegations after learning of that similar lawsuit that was filed by actor Derek Dixon. In fact, and this is in the complaint, a friend allegedly texted Rodriguez about Dixon's lawsuit, and Rodriguez replied, quote, OS, he's at it again, when's he gonna learn? Where the friend responded, when he ends up like Diddy, referring to Sean Diddy Combs. Now, the final part of the complaint lays out the 4 legal claims, the causes of action here, what he's suing for. Sexual assault, sexual battery, intentional infliction of emotion.
You heard it. He said, I ain't gonna stop till he end up like Diddy. He gonna get what he deserved, pretty much. That's what all these niggas do. That's what all of them do. That's what I said. This shit doesn't sound new at all. Nothing new about these fucking allegations, man. From Russell Simmons to fucking dude from Interscope, what was his name? Jimmy Iovine with his shit. All these dudes, man. Tyler Perry, this is his second one. Diddy, Kelly. Shit, we can go down the list. We can go down the list of how many dudes like Tyler Perry. We can go down the list. He said, I won't stop till he like Diddy. Lock the fuck up.
Emotional distress, all against Perry, and there is a fourth claim for negligent retention against Lionsgate. By the way, should be noted the timing of this suit. So it's filed right before 2026. And for example, under California law, you need to file a sexual assault lawsuit within 10 years from the date of the last act or attempted act. And while he describes an incident in 2019, remember, 2015 is when all of this allegedly started and, traced back to that first alleged episode. So I would imagine in an abundance of caution, filing this right before 2026, probably how the suit can maybe go forward. That's just my 2 cents. Anyway, going back to that negligent retention claim. So the argument is that Lionsgate, right, this film distributor, which the suit claims hires and supervises Tyler Perry and benefits from his production of films, they knew or should have known of this alleged misconduct, that they failed to act, and they continued to financially benefit from their relationship with Tyler Perry. And this lawsuit is seeking damages reportedly totaling $77 million. Rodriguez claims that he has suffered PTSD, physical, psychological, emotional injuries, damage to his professional reputation, which, by the way, yes, could be substantiated by Rodriguez testifying about how he suffered. But sometimes in these lawsuits, you see medical professionals testifying, maybe an agent, a producer talking about reputational harm or what they observed, friends, family. But the harm suffered is essential for a damages calculation in a lawsuit. So that's the core narrative and the key excerpts as presented in this 28-page complaint. Now, I will say this, okay? In the days since this complaint was filed, there has been some activity. Both sides have responded publicly. So Tyler Perry's defense team, which is led by high-profile attorney Alex Spiro, has issued a categorical denial. That statement reads, having recently failed in a...
Same Alex Spiro that, helps Jay-Z out, right? That Alex Spiro. Birds of a feather flock together, don't they?
Other matter against Mr. Perry, the very same lawyer has now made yet another demand from more than a decade ago, which will also be a failed money grab. And this directly references the previous lawsuit filed by actor Derek Dixon, which is still in its early legal stages, apparently was moved from California to Georgia. And shortly after the lawsuit became public, Mario Rodriguez, the plaintiff here, posted a video addressing his choice to speak out. Listen to what he said.
Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. And I just want to say I'm really sorry, man, because if I would have spoken up sooner, I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me. I just want to say sorry for that, whoever that may be. It could have stopped with me if I would have said something. But I do apologize, and I'm speaking up now.
So look, we'll see if Tyler Perry will try to get this dismissed on procedural grounds. Is this a case that he even wants to take to trial to clear his name? Is there a risk of what could come out through the discovery process as material is exchanged and evidence is exchanged? What could come out of a trial? What could come out in the media? And whenever you think about a high-profile player like this, there's two things, right? There's obviously the lawsuit, there's the court of law, but then also the court of public opinion. The world of public opinion is a lot different than a court of law. The text messages that are being presented publicly, they could be more difficult ones to overcome or explain from a media perspective, from a PR perspective. Now, the problem for Rodriguez is this is an allegation. And unless he told others, immediately or over the years what allegedly happened to him, there was that friend that allegedly texted him the news of Dixon. When that came out, maybe that person would come forward. But unless Rodriguez has some other definitive proof, it is essentially his word against Tyler Perry's. And him keeping contact with Tyler Perry and still coming over, that will have to be explained to a jury. It really comes down to that continuing conversation of power dynamics, the psychology of sexual assault, the Hollywood dynamic. It can get very, very complicated. But for Tyler Perry, again, these are just allegations and he's denying it. And Tyler Perry has a right to defend himself. So this is still in the early stages. We will see how that plays out and we'll keep a careful eye on it here on Sidebar. That's all we have for you, though, right now. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. You can follow me on X or Instagram. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.
All right. Like I said before, same old story with these dudes. Same old story with these dudes. And he's probably going to settle. Just like the Derek Dixon one. He's probably going to settle that one too. And hopefully these dudes stick to what they're saying as far as wanting to see them go to jail. Because if it goes to court, like I said, it's going to expose more than just Tyler Perry. Again, this casting couch thing goes beyond Tyler Perry. It's been happening for years and years and years with different people. So Tyler Perry isn't the first person. He's going to be the last person to be accused of this shit and going to be swept up under the rug, unfortunately. I hate society. I hate how society is because we celebrate this stupid ass shit. America celebrates the stupid ass shit and pedophiles. I hate it. I hate it. I honestly hate it. Need 1 second, chat. Need 1 second. Ain't going too far. Turn my motherfucking air off. Who's that? Life of a Sneaker Mama. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. What's going on with you? Yeah, it's officially New Year's over here now. It's officially New Year's over here on this side as well. So Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat once again. Speaking of people in jail, though. Speaking of people in jail. Mr. Diddy has now signed off for an appeal. He just signed off on a brand new appeal just recently. Sean Diddy Combs files appeal asking for immediate prison release. Sean Diddy Combs has asked an appeals court to release him from prison and overturn his conviction on 2 prostitution-related crimes. In a court filing for an expedited appeal, the rap mogul's attorney argued that he was improperly sentenced and that the conduct that resulted in his conviction was not criminal in nature. Attorney Alexander Spiro, Alex Spiro, called Combs' 50-month prison sentence unlawful, unconstitutional, and perversion of justice. He's lucky he got 50 months. Okay? The judge was more than lenient because he could have gave him the whole 20. He could have gave him the whole 20 years. Instead, he's talking about the 50 months is... Brother, he's spending 3 years in jail. You're spending 3 years in jail, really. And you're calling it harsh? Crazy work. You're going 3-4 years in jail with time served. Harsh, brother. You were facing damn near life. Oh my gosh, the crybabiness in this. She asked an appeals court to order that Combs be resentenced should the panel choose not to throw out his conviction in its entirety. The request is the latest attempt by his team to reduce his sentence or throw out his whole conviction. You ain't throwing this shit out. The Southern District of New York, which prosecuted Combs, declined to comment on the request to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Combs' lawyers had previously said they would appeal his sentence and conviction. Federal prosecutors in New York accused Combs of using his money, power, and threat of violence to coerce women in unwanted sexual encounters. So we already know the result of this shit. He was facing he's gonna be doing about 11 years. He was gonna be doing 11 years, not even the whole 20 at first. But then they gave him the 50 months. Like, dude, you got off easy. You got off pretty damn easy. And for you to say that the judge was unlawful, the nerve of you, nigga. The nerve of you. The nerve of you. Which reminds me, this year's stream is sponsored by a special song. The song of the year. The song of the year for 2025. I can't forget. This is what these niggas was singing with the baby oil. Gasms, nigga. This is what Tyler Perry was talking about some of Derek Dixon. This is what Diddy was talking about. The prostitutes when he was trying to get Cassie. Call him.
Orgasms. When I look at you, it makes me feel better than good. And what I see is you and me together forever. I'm knocking on wood. Every kind of gasm in the book. Each eye has 'em. Every time I take a look, you give me gasms. Eye gasms. You're the one responsible for my gasms. Gasm, gasm. Gasm, gasms. You give me gasms, eargasms. When I hear your voice, my eardrums start to quiver. It's a sexy sound, makes my love come down, and I know
Smoke can't be
you can
delegated.
deliver any kind of gasm on the list. The gasms you don't give me, I don't think exist. You give me gasms, eargasms, soft and sweet, or the kind the neighbors hear.
With the baby oil.
If I think about you right now, don't give me gasms. Every little thought somehow gon' give me gasms. You give me those mind gasms, those hard to find gasms. Gasm, gasms.
He's talking about eye-gasms, ear-gasms, all type of gasms. I was like, Smokey. And this was the worst time for him to release an album with this type of song on it. And he talking about he got sexual assault allegations. So I'm like, he talking about some. I'm like, Smokey a damn freak. Smokey a damn freak. That's the song of the year for me. Gasms. Gasms, y'all. Gasm, gasms. Give me eargasms. Eye-gasms. Gasm, gasms. Gasms, gasms. Gasms, gasms. This nigga Smokey. Freak. This nigga Smokey a freak. I tell you. Oh, man. All these niggas is freaks, man. All these niggas is freaks, unfortunately. I tell you. My mama said it too. You done ruined my childhood. You done ruined it's all ain't it like that though? All of them got their own creepy little past. All of them got their own creepy little past. And unfortunately, it trickles down to the seeds. So, as you guys have probably heard by now, King Combs, Christian Combs, Diddy Jr. has threatened to smack 50 Cent. Why he has done such a thing, I have no clue. It is probably the worst time for him to say such a thing. This happened about a week ago. 50 Cent responds to Diddy's son King Combs after he said he'll slap 50 Cent the next time he sees him. So he said, on my dad, if I ever run into 50 Cent, I'll slap the fuck out of him. In which 50 Cent responds, little bro, first, close your damn mouth when you take pictures. Same way Diddy always having his mouth open when you taking pictures. Like father, like son, I tell you. You still living off Wi-Fi and legacy. Relax. That was very smooth and scathing, living off Wi-Fi and legacy. Pretty much just you living off your dad. Subtle way of saying that. Just a quick subtle way of saying that. But he's right. This is a fight you should not be trying to take on. I understand certain people have their feelings about the Diddy documentary. You know, that's very understandable. It's very understandable. However, the thing is, you can't do anything about the actual facts. So these facts, like I said before, I've said many times before in this pod, these facts were already there. Okay? All 50 Cent did was executive produce and sign off on someone saying, hey, we have a story to put together that has already pretty much been out there for years. We're just putting the pieces to the puzzles together and presenting it to the people. That's all we've done. So everybody has their naysay on it. Everybody's like, oh, it should have been a balanced, it should have had his good side too. Well, when you have all this bad shit, why are you showing the good? You know about the glitz and glamour side of Diddy. How about you see the other side of the picture too? That's all it was. They showed the other side of the picture. But, Beyonce would have something to say about it as well. She went and said, I make that. Oh, no. Let me move it up here. So Beyonce has addressed the storm surrounding 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, and she did it with calm, calculated elegance. Yeah, right. She said there's a difference between telling stories and turning trauma into spectacle. Some of us protect the culture. Others profit from its pain. Accountability matters, but so does intention. In which 50 Cent fired back, Beyonce, I make documentaries, not lullabies. That was nice. I don't sing around the truth. I show it. If protecting the culture means pretending we didn't see nothing, that ain't protection. That's silence with a budget. Southside way of responding. Silence with a budget. You sell healing through music. I sell reality through footage. Both platinum. Just don't act like my streams don't count. Gotta love 50 for that response. Gotta love 50 for that response right there. And see, that was another way of saying everybody got these bots, right? Everybody got these bots that's selling. But at the same time, there are people with actual fan base and actual cult followings. Like a 50 Cent who has a cult following. Like a Beyonce who has a cult following. You know what I mean? I get that. I get that little subtle jab right there. Just, you got bots, I got bots being paid for. Just that, don't act like my shit ain't, got a cult following too. So, following this would be this week where King Combs and Justin Combs have now decided to put out their own little trailer for their new docuseries that they're releasing through Zeus, which wasn't necessarily a good idea.
The woman claims that the three masked men, and she identified one as Sean Combs due to his mannerisms and just.
Let me start it over.
Curtis, what do you think Diddy's gonna say after?
Let me start it over.
Hello. This is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
The alleged assault, the woman claims that the three masked men, and she identified one as Sean Combs due to his mannerisms and Justin calling him Pops, then arrived and repeatedly raped her over a period of time. The plaintiff, a former yacht stewardess, alleged that in December 2022, while working on a yacht chartered by Diddy, Christian Combs coerced her into drinking a potentially spiked tequila shot, cornered her in a room, groped her, and attempted to force her to perform oral sex. She reported the incident to the captain, but alleged a cover-up and was later fired.
Brother.
Hello. This is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
Brother, if they was to release this as the trailer, and look at 50, I want to see this show. I'm not sure this is a good idea. So this is just footage from the actual trailer, right? I'm going to play the trailer, the real trailer in a second. Hopefully they don't cut it off. But this is a mock version of the trailer in which he's playing what happened to Christian Combs. As you heard the audio, they were talking about Christian Combs' lawsuit about the girl that was allegedly raped on the yacht by Christian Combs. So the crazy thing is, that isn't getting swept under the rug. And I'm glad that 50 Cent even put that out, because I'm saying to myself the same thing. Like, yo, why are y'all two doing this documentary and both of y'all have your own situations as far as lawsuits right now still that are pending because of your father? It's like the worst time for y'all to be doing this. The absolute worst time. It is the real one right here. This is the real one right here. Like I said, hopefully they don't say nothing. It's only a minute.
Procession of his children arriving in court for day one of their father's sex trafficking trial in New York. Hands gripped in solidarity.
Do you still believe your dad's innocent? How did you feel hearing that testimony yesterday? Do you apologize on behalf of your father? Do you believe your father's innocent? Do you still convinced your father's innocent?
Your daddy got 4 years! Your daddy got 4 years for abusing women! That's wrong! He should get more!
Fight this to the end? He's innocent?
Let's get him! I'm gonna get you too!
Not afraid of the charges? Nothing that's
like the OJ all over again.
Hello. This is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
So that's the real trailer. That's the real trailer right there. And to be honest, I don't think this is a good idea. I really don't think it's a good idea for the simple fact that, he's freshly put in jail. Then he's talking about in his appeal, he's getting an unlawful sentence after getting such a very lenient sentence. On top of, like, you two have your own cases pending. Like I said, Justin has his case pending with the yacht. Justin has his situation from the Little Rod case that didn't go nowhere. It's us other shit he's dealing with the crib. They're dealing with payments with the crib. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all two doing? And then, of course, this happens to be on Zeus of all networks. This couldn't be in an even worse situation. They say things can't get any worse. You made a bad situation worse. That's literally what you did. You made a bad situation worse here. Because you doing it with Zeus, something that's known for being Ratchet TV. You doing it on Ratchet TV. You trying to defend your father's honor on Ratchet TV Network. Because the other side of that story, the other side that's kicking to it, that's Ray J's network. You know, he don't own it, but you pretty much could say he's damn near co-owner of that damn network, Zeus. So after y'all done tried to jump Ray J, now y'all doing something on his block? The nerve of you niggas. We can't even say who raised you on this one. We know the answer to that. So, again, this isn't looking too well. This ain't looking too well at all. This is just a bad idea on top of a bad idea. And shout out to the homie Chick Smooth. Who got a clip of, let me see, Joe Budden pretty much talking about how this is a absolutely terrible idea.
YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Let's hit Chick Smooth. Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Oh boy, here we go, you guys. This is now getting very, very interesting. Is there anybody out there that thinks this is a good idea by Diddy's sons? Well, besides some of you crazy mofos that watch my videos. Now, a couple days ago, I told you guys Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, they have a docuseries coming out about Diddy. This docuseries is going to be based on their personal story and also their experiences after Diddy got locked up. Now, for anybody out there wondering, yes, this doc is meant to go up against 50 Cent's doc that he just put out with Netflix on Diddy. And of course, you guys know Diddy had to give his approval before these guys could make this doc. 50 Cent came out yesterday and said, you know what? This is not really a good idea. However, some of you crazy mofos think otherwise. Somebody said, chicks, why not see things from different angles? What else do we have to do? There's 2 to 3 sides to every story. They have the right to tell theirs how they want to. Another person said, I don't blame them. That's still their father. Well, today on the brand new Joe Budden podcast, episode 890, despite his co-host feeling otherwise, Joe Budden feels like this doc from Diddy's sons is a horrible idea. Joe said the doc is an absolute mess. They should have gotten with a PR company to figure out what the best move is. And above all, Joe feels like these guys should have just sat down and shut the fuck up. Wait until your dad is released from prison and figure it out from there. Here's what Joe said.
This is a horrible idea.
I don't understand.
This could not be a worse idea at a worse time.
I mean, that's
I'm
possible.
just going to call a spade.
I mean, the logistics of it may or may backfire, but for him to put that statement out, I don't think
give me the percentage of. Because I think that this no good is coming from this. People do not feel like Puff should be released.
There's also people
they actually feel like he should be serving more time. The state of his name, his business affairs, what it means to be associated, attached to it, to justify it, to rationalize it, to try to explain it, to understand it. Bad state for any of that stuff. Secondly, are y'all gonna come on this miniseries and say how you felt at every detail that was released during trial?
And be honest about
it? Are y'all gonna have an honest, vulnerable moment about, hey, my dad was into XYZ, I knew or didn't know. How honest are you going to be in this?
I don't expect it to be very honest.
Me either. Me either. And see, like, if there was some of that in here, like the good docs.
Have a little bit of honesty.
The good docs, the nigga that they slamming for the first 20 minutes is about to sit down and fix his collar.
Yeah.
And hey, this is what went on. I don't think they about to do that.
I don't think they are.
I think they about to go in there with a bunch of, with a puff piece. No pun intended.
Yeah, I get it.
They're going to go and try to pretty this up. And
it's the polar opposite of what
you're reading the room wrong. If you think that you could go in there and pretty this up, then you are reading the room wrong. 1, 2. I don't know if I can think of a worse idea. And I fuck with them too.
Me too.
Like, I'm not against them. They look stupid in the trailer. Did y'all see the trailer?
I didn't see the trailer.
Oh, okay. Y'all should watch the trailer then first.
I mean, I didn't necessarily like how they looked when Puff was on trial. They doing push-ups outside the courtroom, all of that shit to me.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
What?
I didn't see
Even the shit where he said he would slap 50 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
It's
Bro,
like,
they was doing push-ups outside.
Oh yeah, and the song that he put out back then. Yo, all right, what about the family decision making says that it's been A1 since all this shit has been happening?
Zero. No.
I think this is right. I think this is right in line. This is right in line with that.
There you go. I think all of that is right in line. I think that after the house got raided, remember they put the song out. All the guns was at the other
you got the
house.
wrong house.
I think that their lack of
leadership, the leader's gone.
Humility, bro. Yeah. When you've been entitled your entire existence, I think the lack of humility shows. And when Puff got when they announced the verdicts for the trial. The son was outside, no shirt on, doing push-ups. I just think that shit was tacky as fuck. But again, their level of entitlement, they've been rich. They've been Puff sons their entire existence, bro.
And ain't no telling what they saw in terms of him getting away with shit.
Mad shit.
So, yeah, we think we untouchable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to put the record out saying, yeah, y'all got the wrong house because I think we bulletproof.
That shit is a mess.
Yeah.
Yo,
but it's all entitlement. I'm with you.
It's entitlement, bro.
So I'm telling y'all with love.
So they should just sit down and shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, you took it back.
I respect the nigga.
You took it back. You took it back. You got it back.
Niggas protecting defending their father. I'm sorry.
I don't knock no hustle. I mean, niggas, you got a bag. You want a bag. Yeah. There's the bag. Go do what you need to do to get the bag. But
what about defending
the backlash? Even if it goes its best, again, back to playing the odds. And if it goes best case scenario, I got the backlash being at 65, 75%.
Really?
Yes, yo. This is no PR firm would tell them to do this. There's not a PR firm in the unit, the good ones. I'm talking about the ones that niggas of that ilk have. Nobody would tell them to do this, yo. We not at street level with how we respond to things, and that's how some of it is coming off. And I think that's a mistake.
I agree.
Call somebody. Call one of them firms, nigga, that's $300 a month. Ask for advice. Get some guidance and leadership while your leader is away doing work and time. And let him come home. His voice carries weight. He's a little more charming. He got all of that shit that might get this going in a different way. Until then, mute it the fuck up, yo. Some battles ain't for our kids. They for us.
That's valid.
Our kids gonna want to jump out there and save the day and fight for the fan. And I got you, Dad. You sit up and prove a point and prove that you can. No, yo, hell no. That's Joe Budden's opinion only. I could be wrong. I've been wrong. I've been wrong before. We will wait and see.
We will see.
But niggas is not. When that comes out, niggas is grabbing popcorn and waiting for the mistake.
Oh yeah, niggas is definitely watching that with a magnifying glass.
I agree.
They're waiting for the mistake. They're not waiting to understand what you was feeling and going through, or just your emotions. Nobody's looking to understand you.
Now, just like I told you guys in the video yesterday, I don't have an issue with this. I think everybody has a right to tell their own story how they see fit. I'm just hoping that the sons actually call out their father and hold him accountable. If you guys do not admit in this doc that your father Diddy was on some nut shit, no pun intended, well, actually, never mind. We know you guys are only doing this doc just to change the narrative about Diddy, and that's fine. But if you want some sympathy from the public, they want to see you condemn your father and actually understand what he did was wrong. Now, as far as Diddy, reports came out that Diddy is actually considering legal action over the 50 Cent doc with Netflix. Despite sending Netflix a cease and desist letter on December 1st, Netflix said fuck it and still put out the doc the very next day. Now, I do want to say this, you guys. Despite some of the negative criticisms that Diddy's sons have been receiving about this doc coming up next year, these guys have probably gotten close to $10 million in free promo. They have everybody talking about it, from 50 Cent to now one of the biggest podcasts out there in hip-hop. So even if people end up hating this doc, Zeus Network already made their money back. And that's pretty much all that matters to them at the end of the day. You guys get in the comments below. Do you guys think Joe Budden was right in trashing this doc and saying it was an absolute horrible idea? If I'm the CEO for Zeus, I'm dropping this doc within the first week of January. You gotta drop it now while people still care and people are still talking about it. Like this video, subscribe to my channel.
Very true. That's very true though. But at the same time, it's still a terrible idea. Like I said before, my thoughts is you don't do this fresh off him going to jail and while you two are going through your own legal troubles as well. And then once again, people are going to be looking at this with more scrutiny than they are with love. People are already, looking at you guys with the side eye, left and right, especially King Combs and the shit that he's been doing, the songs that he's been making. You heard him. Don't even remind us of the feds ain't look at the other house. You made a whole diss song. You made a song dissing the FBI. These two are just not bright. They're all stupid. They're all stupid. Now, this all is barreling from, 50 Cent also, or should I say, on a side quest of all this, 50 Cent is also battling Jim Jones and Fabulous, Davies, and Mano. So if you don't remember, 50 Cent actually was saying that he was going to buy the building that Jim Jones was doing the podcast in, all because we played the audio here before of Jim Jones and then pretty much, mocking the documentary, saying, oh, it had to be more balanced, this, that, and the third. They should have showed his real side and all this, and 50 responded with, don't make me buy the building. You guys are squatters there. Don't make me buy, your podcast out. In which I think I played the audio here. 50 Cent,
And I said, okay, fine. Right? He's been saying this for since October. And so he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want 6 months of build out. And ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say it in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000. The monthly rent on the old lease, not this.
So again, that's the audio there of 50 Cent releasing what the landlord was talking about the gym, and then of course the response back to that was him. Jim had wired him the $200,000, and 50 was like, just call me whenever he don't feel like he want to pay. So, in which in return, we got this video that dropped here not too long ago.
Yeah, let's rap about it. Yeah, look, hey, real niggas outnumbered 99-1. I've been a savage way before I turned 21. They said that I would probably die before I'm 21. These young boys getting light before they 21. Let's rap about it, smack a nigga, laugh about it. It's either in you, not on you. You lames need a class about it. Might I never get my flowers in this lifetime. Probably have to die before I get my right shine. It's cool, cause stars shine when it's nighttime. These internet niggas throwing shots, pick the right time. I got time today, a hustler gonna find a way. I don't back down, it's not inside my DNA. Pops died early, had to grind early. Big hammers way before I had size on me. Talking old beef, taking back the guy Tony. That's before actresses laid their eyes on me. Yeah, let's talk money and love. But OG said you can't trade money for love. All of us gang, but only one of us blood and one crib. Don't trip, they ain't fucking with us. Hey, it's easy to see when you look at me. Another reason why you should be shook of me. I'm on that shit again, we getting lit again. Ain't no age for being fly till you're citizen. Yeah, hey, rap about it. Ain't no age for being fly till you're citizen. Let's rap about it. I whip your head, boy. Capo. I'm ducking smoking, I ain't got a neck. These niggas all in their feelings, they must have got upset. I played ball till I got fouled too hard and went and got a tech. I've been around real killers, nigga. You are not a threat.
So notice how they're all doing 50 Cent beats. I'm catching on to that already.
Fuck off. It's money in the bank, you should've stopped the bet. Stop it up. Been left the game, but I still got connects. My young boys carry guns that can stop a jet. I flew birds through the coop, but I still got the set. Fuck them. Fuck about the ass, we will whip your head. Niggas saying fuck the streets like them shits is dead. I got niggas in the streets that's moving bricks for bread. I got homies getting snatched and natives hit the feds. Shit. I'm from New York where that money talk. East side. Niggas post bail and they don't come to fucking court, nigga. My YNs is doing quarter zips. That's nothing but a 7. When I was young, I was doing quarter bricks. Before the gram, we was taking rich porter flicks. Pineapples on the head, 3 1/4 whips. Nasty. That's when Duke had the Beamer and I had the act. Rockin' beef from Broxy's my side dish, so I had the Mac. They squatting in the building, I'm squatting on some millions. These niggas watching my moves, I got them in their shit. Tell me what you want, nigga. Tell me. Tell me what you need. Tell me what it is. Tell me what you, nigga. Tell me what it be. Shit.
I used to do the Averex with the cream sleeves. I did that. Out in Michigan trying to get it, my team Cleves. Now I'm back in Harlem ballin' like Kareem Reed. What up? Tan and white on us like a bagel with cream cheese. Look, you seen them on TV, I really seen fiends. Nothing but they kept their balance on a mean lean. We treating niggas like Isaiah, ain't no dream team. Think of Chip Banks, American cream team. White rice and corn, mama did the string beans. Just for my niggas in Clinton Green or Sing Sing. I seen a different kind of magic than Kareem seen. Powder turned into a rock without a green screen. Thinking about they self, don't know about what a team mean at all. Just trying to get away from 12 like a preteen. Cough syrup, got him addicted, he need lean. I heard BG came home, I put on bling bling. Cameras caught him at the crib, now it's a ring scene. On the rooftop, like a Nino and G thing. Expensive dinner type bitches, knowing they eat wings. 600 Benzes and Beamers, that was a street dream. Re-sling, lately I'm sipping, I got it different. Put you on the wall, no street team. Always a FTD thing. From the dirt, look, I really been in King Park with Crazy O, Shady Low, Nipsey on repeat, and my Mercedes low. Let's rap about it. All I knew was trap about it. Info, we smack it out. I'm no limit. I'm actually about it. Know the vibe. I'm actually about it.
Notice how Dave East did not diss 50 Cent. Jim Jones did. Mano did. Dave East took the left route. Bravo, Dave East. Smart Dave East. Smart Dave East. I hope 50 Cent takes that in consideration. Dave East did not diss you, 50 Cent.
Whoa.
But this guy, however, this one rang through the motherfucking streets.
Whoa. Look. I'm a top shotter who drop dollars and pop collars. If you ain't talking about top dollar, do not holler. Niggas can't move us, but nah, we not squatters. They mad cause we fly and niggas cannot swat us. Get it toe to head from bottom to top's Prada. Them window shoppers ain't really gon' cop nada. My dog told me give him the word and shots follow. I let him off the leash like Nino's Rockwaller. You know I got power, your shorty got hot shower. Catch her tryna leave like Tasha shot Lala. The bitch not Mala and nigga you not Allah. Y'all both meet the creator, his first name not Tyler. The blick like a magic stick, yo top walla. Roof going, drain Snoop in a drop collar. Screaming let me ride, them youngins got diabolic. They will leave your whip leaning like they pop hydraulics. None of my ops valid, they singing the cops ballads. None of them want beef, they ordered a chopped salad. Cause how the fuck you niggas got brolic but not solid? And me tryna pull cars like we don't got wallets. Like how do niggas not in the jungle talk to Wallace? How is these grown ass men acting childish? How is these bum ass niggas speaking with stylists? When I was so fly, it made my bitch a stylist. They can't stop us from scoring, they gotta foul us. Can't stop us from scoring. Hey, we met at a pop gala, I call her the top scholar. She come and drop knowledge like she from a top college.
I'm sorry, I gotta hear that one more time. I have to hear that one more time. Cause the thing about Fabulous, he's still lyrically profound. We're still talking about, one of the best metaphor rappers to ever do this shit. Getting Fab to get in his pen, I think does a little bit more for Fab than it does for 50, which I was also thinking about this from this perspective as well. 50 has a thing of when you're beefing with him, your revenue can actually go up. You can actually capitalize off this type of thing. So Fabulous, of course, doing this and him, really putting belt to ass as far as the pen go. Because let's not act like he didn't do his damn job. Let's not act like Fab didn't do what he came to do on this record. This shit, like I said, rang through the streets to the point my timeline was like Fab 50. Fab 50, Fab 50. And I was like, what is going on here? I woke up to this damn freestyle the other day. I was like, oh, Fab didn't come to play.
Oh, look, I'm a top shotter who drop dollars and pop collars. If you ain't talking about top dollar, do not holler. Niggas can't move us, but nah, we not squatters. They mad cause we fly and niggas cannot swat us. Get it toe to head from bottom to top's Prada. Them window shoppers ain't really gon' cop nada. My dog told me give him the word and shots follow. I'll let him off the leash like Nino's Rockwaller. You know I got power, your shorty got hot shower. Catch her tryna leave like Tasha shot Lala. The bitch not Mala and nigga you not Allah. Y'all both meet the creator, his first name not Tyler. The blick like a magic stick, yo top walla. Roof going, Dre and Snoop in a drop collar. Screaming let me ride, them youngins got diabolic. They will leave your whip leaning like they pop hydraulics. None of my ops valid, they singing the cops ballads. None of them want beef, they ordered a chopped salad. Cause how the fuck you niggas got brolic but not solid? And me tryna pull cars like we don't got wallets. Like how do niggas not in the jungle talk to Wallace? How is these grown ass men acting childish? How is these bum ass niggas speaking with stylists? When I was so fly, it made my bitch a stylist. They can't stop us from scoring, they gotta foul us. Can't stop us from scoring. Hey, we met at a pop gala, I call her the top scholar. She come and drop knowledge like she from a top college.
He was ready to go more. He was ready to go off even more. That's the crazy part. He was rapping like he had more to go. Like he had a whole nother 16 that he had to stop. They should have let him keep going. They should have let him keep going. That was only a minute and 24 seconds that he let off. Straight heat. Straight motherfucking heat. But see, that's the thing. That's what Fabulous does. That's what Fabulous does. So I can only imagine what's going to happen after this. Excuse me. So we have the Street Fighter movie coming out for 50 Cent already. He's Barlog in that movie, right? I'm only imagining, a certain time after that or before that, he's going to drop an album, which would be very smart of 50. If he drops the album right before the Street Fighter movie, very smart on his part. Very smart on his part because he gets to capitalize on his own period of time, and then he gets to capitalize with the period of time with the promo for Street Fighter and him having to do his walkthroughs for that as well. Already on tour. It would be an amazing time for him to drop an album. In the midst of all this publicity that he has, it would be an amazing time for him to drop the album right now and have a response to all four of these gentlemen on that album. It's already set in stone. I could already see the chess move right here. If 50 Cent is doing that, because he already put the like a Curtis versus 50 Cent promo picture out as if he was, and hinting that he was writing. So I already can see. And they saying he was he had a certain streaming accolade as well. One of the most streamed rappers from that time period this year. So it would be a great time for him to drop an album. Amazing time for him to drop an album. Amazing time. I do remember, little times, to where, for example, when Jim Jones was on the basement. You remember when Jim Jones was on the basement?
And I'm back. It's your boy 50 Cent bringing you more Rap City. It's going down right here. I know this is your favorite show right now because I'm on it. And I told y'all earlier I was going to bring somebody new in the G Unit. I might have a new sign and I might not. You see, I got the whole G Unit here. We're going to get it going. What you got back here? Ah! Oh, man. Hey, what you know? What you know? What's hoodie? It's your man Jim Jones right here. Bought you the biggest record of last year, right?
Oh, yeah, we had a nice
what we
time
call
last
that one?
year.
What we call that
was
one?
balling. We still balling. What's poppin', big baby?
Was balling. You know, so...
man, we got this.
So why was you here, man? Well, we got to do that one time. Tell me how to show you how you do it.
You got to pass me the ball for
That's how we got to do that.
Throw you the ball, baby.
You know what I mean?
Shit, we here. I just came to show some support, I respect Gina. G-Unit is one of the few movements that I do respect in this game and things like that. You know me, I'm a hustler, so I'm always open for money and things like that.
That's what this is. This is the ultimate hustler version of Rap City right here.
It's still diplomats, though, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about how like what you got going on.
Oh, now you know I got a new deal pending. I don't want to break no hearts and shake the tables too much, but somebody to offer me a whole bunch of money that I can't refuse and things like that.
Well,
but,
don't blow that till negotiations is done.
I'm not going to blow that up too much, but I think it's pretty much done. You dig? But besides that, the album coming out, you'll look forward to that Bird Gang album, Dipset, G-Unit. Don't be scared.
That's right. We brought you Jim Jones. We brought you Jim Jones, and be surprised because we got more surprises to come. More Rap City.
So the crazy thing is, this was at the height of the beef between 50 and Cameron at the time, and the whole Curtis, and 50 Cent ended up bringing up Jewels and Jim out at his own show, at 50 Cent's show. So 50 then brings out Jim Jones on the basement, and Jim Jones does this announcement. So funny how things come full circle, just funny how things come full circle, 15, 20 years later, to where 50 Cent is trying to trick Jim Jones, into betraying Cameron, and, successfully does it.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew, I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was going to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. Then you got to watch to see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Hey, give me this, get me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want him. We want you at the show, Jimmy. You with it? Yo, but that was one of those things. I just threw it out and see what. And then when he bit to it, because it was like he was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen again at that point. And then he's going, for them, they had records that where, look, I always say this to certain artists, I go, damn, when is he going to have his moment? Like Fab, I said this to him.
Mm-hmm.
So again, full circle moment here. As you hear, 50 pretty much, his whole chess move all along was to trick Jim into betraying Cameron, and Cam knew that. Because look how 50 is on Cameron's show explaining the whole situation. It's crazy how 50 is able to play these guys. It's crazy, right? So another funny thing was Gene Deal had wanted to talk about, one of the real reasons that 50 Cent doesn't actually even like Diddy. And I thought this was a pretty interesting take. And I wanted to go down, trip down memory lane with this as well. So he did a couple of interviews with it recently, but I want to play the unique one that happened a year ago. Being that people wanted to revisit the story, I wanted to play the real one to Gene Deal.
You know, I kind of wanted to touch on some old school stuff that I seen you talk about before, man.
Do it, bro.
You know, I had seen that, you know, you kind of knew 50 Cent before he blew up.
Yeah.
What was that like?
50 was the type of dude that kept like a little, he kept like a little pad with him. And he wrote everything down. You understand? Me and him caught the plane. We was going to Vegas. And I gave him my card. My business card was savoir faire, security, management, and everywhere. You know what I mean? So 50 did a song about that. You know what I'm saying? And he put that in the song. And some years ago, about a year or so ago, not even a year or so ago, he said that when he dropped my name, he said, yo, I got the savoir faire. I got that from Big Gene. He been trying to tell y'all about this Puff shit years ago. But 50 was the type of dude that if you knew he was with you, he was with you. Even back then, he had your back whether you was security or whatever you did. If he was with you, he was with you. And that's what you gotta love about him. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta question his loyalty, you know what I'm saying, on some fight shit or if you in a situation. Cause he going out.
Well, I guess you were hanging around him or knew him, right before he got shot.
Well, what happened was that I had got some information. 50 came to my house. I tried to fit him on a vest, but I'm like, at the time I was like a 3X. And 50 was like a large, you know what I'm saying? So he couldn't really fit the vest, but I gave him a cover to try to tell him, because he had some pads, some vest pads. So I just told him what the situation was that I knew. And told him he had to watch himself because those cats was gonna come at him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And he was supposed to be going to Cancun. And I told him, if you come to Cancun, I got you, because I used to be down there doing security at Daddy-O's. You understand? And I had people down there that I had knew that was from Puerto Rico, and they was working down there, so they should make sure when I hit the island, anything and everything I needed, I could get it right there on the island. You understand? They work directly with the syndicate. So 50 was supposed to come down there to do a show, and he didn't make it because they had shot him up. I don't know if he was coming in the first place, but he was supposed to, because he was paid half the money to come down there to perform How to Rob an Industry Cat.
And when was the next time you seen him after that?
The next time I seen 50 after that was at Jack the Rapper. He had blew up. Man. He was like, he was this dude and everything like that. And I was sitting we was in Puerto Rico, and I was sitting by myself, just chilling, and he had his whole entourage with him. He came directly over to me. He like, yo, Gene. I was like, yo, what up, Fit? I said, what up, 50? He said, what's up, man? He said, yo, put his hand out to me, and he grabbed my hand. He said, yo, they can't stop what God got planned. Went on about his business. And then he blew up crazy.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel about 50 going so hard at Diddy with the documentaries and, what did he do to 50 that made him hate him so much, man? That's crazy.
Well, I think it's just, you got to look at it like this. 50 was writing a lot of shit that made a lot of money for Diddy. And he knew back then in the day, he didn't know what he know now, but Diddy was robbing him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Bringing those kids in and say, yo, here, write this verse for me, man, for this, stuff like that, and giving them $5,000, you understand? Or $10,000, and you making $100,000
or 200,000 or maybe 2 million off of it, or $1 million, whatever the case may be. See, people call that good business. That's not good business. That's taking a person's talent, using it for your own self-indulgence, and not giving him what it's worth. When you could have been teaching these kids, you could have been helping these kids, and maybe these kids would have been helping you at the point you are right now. So, if that's the case, he have every right. But 50 is doing this for the culture. You understand? If it's going to be told, he going to have it, and it's going to be told the right way.
Yeah, man. And 50, he go hard on Diddy, man. It's constant on his Instagram. It's kind of, it's pretty entertaining to see him be so passionate about his hate for Diddy.
Listen, how many of your enemies you love?
Right. I don't love any of my enemies, man. What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.
All right, so as you heard, the How to Rob video. I should say the How to Rob. I wish I put the AI video up there. That was a pretty funny video that he had. But the How to Rob record back in the day was one of the pivotal points for 50 Cent to where he became a known star. And that's when also Jay-Z had also responded and said, I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 Cent? But from that, now forget the ghostwriter part, right? That's minor shit, right? There's other reasons why 50 Cent doesn't like Diddy, right? Two things. Chris Lighty, the Jimmy Henchman and Chris Lighty thing. The other underlying part to that would be Supreme McGriff and Puff Daddy's relationship back in the day, as well as Jay-Z having something to do with Supreme McGriff and Puff Daddy back in the day. Supreme McGriff and him back in the day. Everybody pretty much hung out together. So look at this picture right here, Rap Radar. Right? Perfect example of mocking 50 Cent. So Supreme had a Supreme team, right? Look what it says here, Rap Radar. Diddy renames Supreme Team. You see Rick Ross, Red Cafe, himself, Fabulous, and Buster. So like I said, this is not, something that's new. And if you don't know who Preem is allegedly the one that got 50 Cent shot 9 times. I would not be surprised if Preem knew Diddy's father. I would not be surprised. But here's a clip of Bill Courtney talking about how he even knew about Supreme and how he had set up 50 Cent as well.
50 Cent drops Ghetto Quran. Then at one point, 50 Cent and Ja Rule get into it. Now, from what I understand, and I've talked to a few people about this, one of 50 Cent's people ends up robbing Ja Rule for a watch. And 50 kind of got thrown into that situation because of his affiliation with it.
Right.
So a fist fight happens. And, depending on who you talk to, you get a slightly different story. Allegedly 50 punched Ja, but then Ja said he punched 50. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? But there was some sort of altercation and things started getting bad. And at the time, Ja Rule was the big rapper out of Queens.
Okay.
So did you know about this beef between 50 Cent and Ja Rule?
Yeah, I became aware of it when I started. And it was a big part of the case because, for a variety of reasons, namely that 50 got shot by, since Supreme had insinuated himself into Murder Inc. Records, into being their protector. So, yeah, there was another thing too where I heard it was a chain at one time. Maybe that was in Atlanta or something.
It was a watch. Yeah.
Okay. I know Supreme got a chain back one time, I think, for him.
Maybe it was a chain. Yeah, I mean, the story's a bit fuzzy.
I think 50 lost a watch in one of those fights or something, too. There was something weird. Like, I think that's where the watch...
Ja lost the watch and 50 got the watch back in exchange for a chain or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know.
No. Maybe it's the other way. No. Yeah, I think Ja's chain got taken and 50 got it back in exchange for a watch. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So what takes that from that level of 50, I guess, is jealous of Ja Rule, right? He's talking down to him. He's, whatever. You might take it as jealousy. You might take it as competition.
Yeah.
It gets violent where people, throwing, fists at each other. How it gets to the level where McGriff goes out searching for 50 all over the place trying to kill him is, how does it go from there to there is amazing. So I don't know what might have happened between 50 and McGriff, but obviously 50 is a target. He knows he's a target. If you look at the two-way pager records that we found, historical records, you'll see people, unknown people, saying 50's on Guy Brewer and 155th or wherever. So they were out looking for him. And so Kenneth McGriff, Chauncey Milliner, whose street name was Godby, Rob Lyons, whose street name was Son or Rob Love, they go to 50's grandmother's house and wait for 50, and the rest is history. They shoot him up, and they flee. They take the car to Brooklyn. They give the car to an associate of the Supreme team and tell him to hide it. And years later, we actually found that car too. He hid it by parking it in a parking garage, and then the city marshals took it for unpaid whatever, and we actually found the car had traps in it and everything else. And so 50 miraculously survives that, and that story is corroborated. So,
okay, so number one, there was always these rumors that Supreme was actually 50's real father and stuff like that. No truth in that? Okay. I didn't think so, but...
one thing I heard is that 50 was tight with a drug dealer from Long Island. And I forget the guy's name, and it always bothered McGriff. I don't know if that's true or not. And then he kind of, when McGriff would come around the hood, he wouldn't suck up to him. He would just kind of like, whatever he would, and I think it left a bad taste in McGriff's mouth, and once the stuff with Ja started, whatever. But there has to be more to it to go from fighting in the street to setting up the guy to kill him. I mean, so how many more incidents were there?
There's actually plenty more to it. One of the main key things he's leaving out is what he was mentioning. Not a guy from Harlem, but a guy from Queens by the name of E Moneybags. We played that story here in the pod here before of E Moneybags and, his dealings with, I should say, his beef with Supreme. And Preem pretty much was one of the people that got E-Money Bags, killed. Again, part of 50 Cent's relationship with E-Money Bags is one of the reasons why, again, 50 had gotten shot 9 times. I'm thinking now, should I even play part of that documentary here? You know what? I will. What the hell? What the hell? So, this is a little documentary they put together on the real reason why 50 Cent had gotten shot.
What does it feel like to be shot? Is it a physical feeling?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as people imagine it hurts because of your adrenaline and how the shock of what's actually going on. It hurts after.
Where were you shot? Which part of the body? Where did the bullet
I got shot in my hand. My thumb came out of my hand, my face, and out the tooth.
Wow, oh my goodness, there's a hole there.
Yeah, it kind of changed my voice too, and this is the voice that sells 8 million records, so I think everything happens for a reason. The guy who actually shot me is dead. And the guy who paid him got life in jail.
Got life in jail.
Yeah.
On May 24th, 2000, the up-and-coming rapper 50 Cent, who had made a name for himself in the streets of New York, was shot 9 times in front of his grandmother's home in South Jamaica, Queens. It all happened when 50 jumped in the car of his friend. His son was in the house, and his grandmother was in the front yard. 50 was sitting in the back seat and handed over some jewelry to the driver. That's when the assailant got around the car and fired 9 shots at close range with a 9mm handgun.
He like this. This gun's still going on. You jumping around in the backseat of the car and shit. You don't know whether you gonna get up out this bitch or not, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you in the rearview mirror looking at you. You got a hole in your face. You don't know if you gonna hit that bullet. It's gonna kill you. Nigga was a professional leg shooter. It was like bang, 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 bang on your legs. You can't kill a nigga like that.
50 was hit in the hand, arm, hip, legs, chest, and left cheek, which resulted in a swollen tongue, the loss of a wisdom tooth, and a slightly slurred voice. He was then driven to a hospital nearby, where he spent 13 days. The assailant, Daryl Harmo Baum, was killed 3 weeks after the shooting.
Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason, cause he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't f***ing breathing.
There were multiple reasons for the shooting, which I will touch on in this video. Most importantly, the song Ghetto Quran, the beef with Ja Rule, and 50's disrespect towards a man named Kenneth Supreme McGriff, who was the man who put out the hits and the main leader of the Supreme Team, which was a large crack-dealing organization that operated throughout the 80s in New York. The headquarters was in Baisley Park, South Jamaica, Queens, and they consisted of around 150 to 200 members, most known for drug trafficking, armed robbery, murder, and money laundering. It was originally formed by a group of teenagers that were part of the 5% Nation, also referred to as the Nation of Gods and Earth, which is a black nationalist movement influenced by Islam, that was founded in 1964 in Harlem by a man who called himself Allah the Father, who had left the Nation of Islam and was previously known as Clarence 13X. In contrast to traditional Islam, gambling, drinking, and criminal activities are allowed under the 5% philosophy called mathematics. Supreme actually got his name from the first 2 lessons taught by the Nation of Gods and Earths, Supreme Mathematics and Supreme Alphabet, which they also used as a coded language and numerical system for communication. At its peak, the Supreme Team receipts exceeded $200,000 a day, and the gang regularly committed acts of violence and murder to maintain its stranglehold on the area's drug trade. They were feared and idolized in its Queens neighborhoods. To many growing up in these impoverished areas, the drug dealers represented the only tangible forms of success to which they had direct access. Preem formed this organization in 1981 and was arrested in 1987, following a joint state and federal investigation. 2 years later, he pleaded guilty to engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, sentenced to 12 years incarceration, of which he only served 7. So he was released on payroll in 1994, but all the money he made from drug trafficking was confiscated. He had done a lot of thinking during his time in prison. Over 100 members of the Supreme Team had been arrested and sent to jail at this point, including his right-hand man Prince, who was sentenced to 6 concurrent life sentences plus 20 years in 1993 for drug trafficking. Sitting alone in his cold jail cell, Supreme realized that the drug game is a dead end. He then had a vision of something different. He wanted to go legit and start making money legally by getting into the entertainment industry. His life changed when he became part of the label Murder Inc., which later on became 50's biggest enemy. Supreme first met Ja Rule and his boss Irv Gotti at the video shoot for the song Get the Fortune, back when Ja was still a part of the group Cash Money Clique, and still tried to hit the mainstream. Irv Gotti and Ja idolized the Supreme Team, which had a legendary status in Queens through everything they had accomplished in the 80s, and Preem was doing everything necessary to become a legit businessman, so he quickly became part of the Murder Inc. family. They had a symbiotic relationship. Supreme was now getting paid, and in return he had Irv and Ja under his wing, gave them protection, safety, solved their problems and scared off the gangsters and street cats, while giving Ja and Irv street cred, cause nobody wanted to mess with the Supreme Team. So they became close business partners. Murder Inc.'s offices were raided by the FBI in early 2003, and Preem faced accusations of drug trafficking and money laundering run by the Gottis. So they were doing all types of businesses together.
Preem in the house, what up? You know, whole Murder Inc. family in this motherfucker.
In 1999, Ja was robbed for his chain at gunpoint by a guy named Troy, who accused Ja of sleeping with his girlfriend while he was in jail. Troy ran away with the chain and Ja called Supreme for help, who then promised to handle it. He ordered a man named Brown to get his chain back, and he did, within just 15 to 30 minutes.
Preem calls me back 15, 20 minutes later. He's like, yeah, I got he's over here right now with me. You know what I'm saying? I got your chain. He just came back on the block. I took your chain from him. I got your chain. Right. And that was that.
Ja then shot a music video for the song Murder for Life on Jamaica Avenue, and 50 decided to pay him a visit and say what's up, as they're from the same neighborhood. Supreme was there too, along with all the other Murder Inc. associates and everybody from the hood. They were all showing Ja Rule love while 50 was there by himself, almost like an outsider or someone who just passed by. Ja and Black Child from Murder Inc. said what's up to him and walked away. The same day they went to a party at Club Amazura and the two met again. But this time 50 had Troy with him, the guy who robbed Ja Rule for his chain.
A friend of mine's robbed Ja Rule. And I'm in a club, and I see the nigga, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm chilling. He see me kicking it with the nigga that robbed him, and he feel like, oh shit, I shouldn't speak to this dude, because I know the kid robbed him, but I know this kid, I grew up with him. And he misinterpreted the conversation because he see me laughing and us talking, but he didn't know I grew up with the guy.
You're talking to a guy who you don't even know up this other guy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they think you're in cahoots with this guy.
Yeah, because you see you laughing and talking, they figure you laughing and talking about them.
Ja Rule started acting weird once he saw those two together. He may have assumed that 50 had something to do with the robbery. 50 said what's up, and Ja was hesitant to greet him back. This incident never happened, according to Ja, but Chris Gotti from Murder Inc. confirmed this, at least the part of them meeting again at the club. 50 allegedly got mad for being brushed off by the whole Murder Inc. crew, and for not getting enough attention. According to the Gotti brothers, 50's hatred came from jealousy, seeing how much love he gets from everyone in the hood while 50 was standing there like a fan. According to 50's ex-manager Chaz Slim Williams, his vendetta indeed originated when he got brushed off. That's when he deemed Murder Inc. his mortal enemy. Whether it was true animosity or opportunism, a beef with Ja Rule could indeed help him to make a name for himself. And 50 wasn't shy about making his feelings known.
I'll tell you personally, the Murder Inc., the people that you see like Irv, Ja, the people that are involved in the business aspect are bitches. Like these niggas don't got no hood in them.
He had a conversation with Supreme, asking him for advice on what he should do against Ja Rule. And Supreme responded with, yo, leave this little fella alone. You know they pussy, but this is my food.
His idea is, yo, leave them alone, they are food.
50 agreed, but decided to record a Ja Rule and Murder Inc. diss track called Lives on the Line. The original version is not only more direct, but also contains lines about that chain robbing incident, in which he's sarcastically asking Ja why he got robbed in his own hood and why the person who took his chain is still alive and well.
Why you get jokes in your own hood? Why to rob you walk around like it's all good?
People say he was a little jealous of Ja Rule for getting co-signed by Supreme, one of his idols growing up. 50 was dealing drugs in his teens and was raised not necessarily under the Supreme team, but other drug kingpins like Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols and James Wall Corley, who were also cooperating with the team. He idolized every major drug dealer from Queens and saw himself as an offspring of that environment. He only knew Preem through his friend Black Just, who was one of the lieutenants of the Supreme team. But he never really got close with him, which made him envy and hate Ja Rule to a degree because he thought he was the realest, most authentic, the toughest, and offspring of all the street legends.
OGs look at me and see I'm what they used to be.
He wanted the Supreme team to get behind him as a rapper, and not Ja Rule, cause he was quote-unquote soft, fake, and not real. Just a studio gangster who's lucky enough to be around real people. Someone who can't do anything without his gangster friends. That's why he mentioned Preem by name on the original version of Your Life's on the Line, to make fun of Ja for needing help to get his chain back.
Damn, why you ready to bring to get your shit back? Why you wanna approach me? Cause you know I push your shit back.
50 wanted to take down Murder Inc. and prove himself to everybody. Show that he's fearless, the toughest up-and-coming gangster rapper from Queens. Some say he tried to get Preem's approval and support, while others say he got pissed at him for supporting Ja. At first, Preem didn't really take him serious. To him, it was all just some little rapper bullshit. He told 50 to chill out and leave Ja alone, multiple times, tried to be the mediator. But 50 took the beef very serious. He was reckless, not afraid of controversy or consequences. But still, if one of your idols tells you to chill out and fall back, then you listen to him. So 50 decided to rewrite the song Lives on the Line and take out the parts where he mentions Preem, the chain incident, and the Ja Rule name drops. The next incident that is relevant in our timeline is the shooting between rapper and drug trafficker E Moneybags, who was one of 50's closest friends at the time, and Supreme at the Coliseum Shopping Center in Queens on December 11th. Supreme had a woman working for him called Z, who had connections to other dealers to get people luxury cars at discount prices. E Moneybags gave Z $1,000 for a down payment, but then he got $2,500 from Mobb Deep's Prodigy and decided to get a better car, a Lincoln Navigator. So he asked Z to give him his money back, and she said, "You gotta take that up with Preem, cause he told me to not give you anything back." So Bags was like, I gave...
So the other part real quick is E Moneybags also had a beef with Jay-Z. E Moneybags had called into the radio station pretty much. We played that video too, but make a long story short, E Moneybags had an altercation with Jay-Z at the radio station, and E Moneybags had threatened to come up to the radio station and rob Jay-Z, yada, yada, yada. Preem also was friends with Jay-Z, handled a situation for Jay-Z, thus led to this situation here.
The money to you. Why the hell do I have to speak to Preem? And why is he telling you to not give it back to me? Supreme brushed Bags off like he was a punk. He knew that he was a stick-up kid, just like 50 Cent. Preem always looked down on thieves and wanted to teach E a lesson. Give him a taste of his own medicine. Let him understand how it feels to get things taken from you. So E Moneybags didn't get a refund. One day on December 11th, Bags came out the Coliseum Shopping Center in Queens and saw Preem in a Land Rover with a man named Black Just, who I mentioned earlier. He was close to 50 Cent and one of the 4 bosses of the Supreme team, sitting in the passenger seat right next to Preem. Bags was known to resort to violence during disagreements. He had shot somebody from a rival gang called the Lost Boys in the eye and killed him prior to this incident. He was one of the few people who wasn't afraid of Preem, so he pulled out his gun without hesitation the moment he saw him, and shot multiple bullets into Preem's Land Rover trying to kill him. But he unintentionally hit Black Just, who he didn't even know was in the car. The bullets severed the major artery in the upper end of his thigh. Preem, on the other hand, was unscathed. Tried to shoot back, but his gun was apparently jammed. Black Just died later on from his wounds because Preem drove 10 minutes away to the hood to ask one of his associates to drive him to the hospital instead of driving there directly to stop the bleeding as fast as possible. He didn't want to get questioned by the police, tried to avoid them at all costs. And that's why Black Just died of heart failure caused by the massive blood loss. He was like a big brother and mentor to 50, kept him under his wing, taught him how to box, and was one of his earliest role models. Preem was enraged and wanted revenge for what just happened. he decided to put out a hit on E-Moneybags, who had to watch his back from this point on, cause Preem's shooters were out to get him. And he also suspected 50 Cent of having something to do with this, who on the other hand blamed Supreme for the death of Black Just. So 50 had lost a friend and was about to lose another one.
I'm grimy. Yeah, my friends kill my friends like Blackie. He did that shit to him.
50 stopped idolizing Preem at this point. The respect was still there, but he thought that Preem was partially responsible for the death of Black Just. He thought the whole situation was avoidable. And Preem also put out a hit on his friend E-Moneybags. All this for a measly $1,000. With a price on his head, E-Moneybags would then team up with several other drug dealers who also had beef with Supreme and wanted to go to war with him. The most infamous ones he reached out to were Big Nose Troy Singleton and Nate Green Eyed Born May, who was Supreme's original right-hand man turned rival, who told Prodigy from Mobb Deep to stay away from E-Moneybags to avoid getting involved in the war, cause he almost became part of it. I mean, he was the reason why Bags wanted his money back. The three then caught Irv Gotti from Murder Inc. in the studio and slapped him up. They were trying to find Preem, and Preem's hitmen were looking for them. 50 Cent would later on join this coalition against Supreme, after things with Ja Rule got out of control and he was unable to squash the beef. 50 once said that him and Preem have too much in common to get along and to like each other. They had conversations all the time, but they were both stuck in their ways, stubborn and doing things their own way. When speaking with each other, Preem would try to son him, treat him like a little boy and rub his head. 50 never liked that and did the same to Preem, which is kinda weird and provocative cause Supreme is like 15 years older than him. But he always reached out to him and told him to resolve the issue. Ja Rule and 50 Cent then met at the Swiss Hotel in Atlanta. They were booked by the same promoter to perform at the same venue on the same day. A man named Chaz Slim Williams, who's the founder of Black Hand Entertainment and the manager of 50 Cent at the time, spoke to Ja Rule and asked him if they can talk about the whole situation with 50 Cent and maybe squash whatever beef they had. Chaz was a well-respected OG who at this point didn't pick any sides. But just like Supreme, he wanted those two to make peace, or at least stop getting on each other's nerves, so that both sides can continue making money without all the drama and hate that comes with it. Ja and 50 had a lot of respect for Chaz and agreed to talk it out privately, so they both walked off and spoke eye to eye. Ja Rule had a small baseball bat over his shoulder and was moving it around while he was talking. 50 kept an eye on it in case Ja Rule starts swinging on him, cause Ja was yelling the whole time, swinging the baseball bat around as if he's looking for a fight. He was pissed about the song Your Life's on the Line, told him that he should have talked to him directly like a man instead of dissing him on record. He was screaming so much that 50 couldn't take it anymore, so 50 ended up punching in his face. Ja took the punch and fought back. He pulled 50's shirt and put it over his head to block his vision, punched him while he was busy trying to pull the shirt back down. Ja then got help from two of his homies who saw the fight and came to his support, while 50 Cent's people were just standing there. They all swung on him. One guy even hit him with a baseball bat. But 50 managed to snatch Ja Rule's chain, which must have popped during the fight, and ran to the elevator with his friends. It was said that Ja Rule had a black eye after the fight and that 50 Cent didn't have any injuries. So he took the chain and then went to the video shoot for the Ja Rule diss song Your Life's on the Line, wearing the chain in the video to ridicule and belittle him. Supreme then approached him once again, and 50 told him his side of the story, said he tried to squash it but had to defend himself, and that they ended up jumping him. Preem understood why it went down the way it did and couldn't blame him for it, but he still wanted Ja Rule's chain back. Remind you that this was the second time now that Ja asked him for help.
Why you ran to Preem to get your shit back? Why you want to approach me? Because you know I'll put your shit back.
50 still respected Preem, so of course he gave him the chain back, but he got a gold watch in return. He even rapped about this on another Ja Rule diss track called Back Down, which came out 3 years later.
You's a Pop-Tart, sweetheart, you're soft in the middle. I eat you for breakfast, a watch was exchange for your necklace.
Murder Inc. tried to blackball him, even back then, telling people in the industry that he can't rap, that he's whack, fake. Ja Rule made multiple phone calls trying to sabotage 50's career. He made it difficult for 50 to build relationships and tried to turn his fans and friends against him. which of course infuriated him. Every time 50 tried to respond or approach Ja, Preem intervened and stepped in, telling him to fall back, chill, and to leave Ja alone. One time he went to see Ja on the Coliseum Black in Queens, when they were shooting a music video. 50 grabbed his pistol and went there on a motorcycle to see what it's about. Just like in most Ja Rule video shootings, Supreme was present to give support and protection. He saw 50 Cent across the street and knew that he was trying to find Ja Rule. So he called him from a distance and spoke to him, trying to hinder him from whatever he's planning to do. Pulled him to the side and said, "Don't do it." 50 was like, "What the hell is this problem, man?" And Supreme said, "Nah, I told you. Leave them alone, they ain't gonna do nothing." Out of respect for Preem, 50 left it alone once again. The beef partly existed because of Preem speaking up for Ja and 50 feeling rejected by him. Chaz and Supreme tried to iron things out and arrange a meeting for Ja and 50 to squash the beef. 50, even though he came to the building of the meeting, refused to sit down with them, thinking it would either get physical again or have an unsatisfactory outcome for him, as he was technically the person who made things escalate while having nothing to show off. I mean, he was quote-unquote the cloud chaser and Ja Rule the superstar. So they will tell him to stop doing what he does, and Ja Rule gets to do whatever he wants. They saw 50 as a little angry boy. He thought that he would be the only one who gets criticized. Everyone else was in their comfort zone. Ja had everything, and 50 didn't even have a career at this point. Murder Inc. continued to pull strings behind the scenes and put obstacles in 50's way, career-wise, despite Preem telling him that they'll do nothing. Him rejecting 50 really hurt his feelings. But Preem was just riding what he thought was the winning horse. He thought 50 had no future in rap and that Ja is the superstar, the money horse, the side that he has to pick if he wants to make millions. 50 also got mad at his manager Chaz for being...
Simon says, "What's going on? Happy New Year to you, brother. What's going on? What's going on?"
Cool with Ja. Everyone was cool, happy and satisfied except him. 50 was the problem child, the little man in the situation. So he didn't go to the meeting to squash the beef, and the people who were supporting him and vouching for him, like Chaz for example, told 50 that he was on his own now. They parted ways after seeing that the beef won't get squashed anytime soon. The OGs who gave 50 Cent protection washed their hands off him and basically stopped holding back the wolves that were desperately trying to take his head. He was now marked for death.
Slim switch sides on me, let niggas ride on me. I thought we was cool, why you want me to die, homie?
50 joining Green Eyed Born's alliance against Preem might have partly been because of Chaz, who was actually the one that sold out Green Eyed Born to his ex-boss Preem, after Green Eyed stole some jewelry from him even though he was his right-hand man. Chaz of course told him about this, and since then they're the biggest enemies. People say that that's the reason why Preem hated stick-up kids and thieves like...
Are you moving out the U.S.? Where you headed, man? God bless to you. Salute to you and safe travels on that. Salute to you and safe travels on that. You know, prayers toward continued blessings on that move. You're doing a very fortunate thing by getting away from all this. You going home to the motherland. That's what I'm talking about. You going home to the motherland, Simon. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me do this for you, brother. You going home to the motherland. You going home to the motherland. That's what I'm talking about. That's always good news to hear. You getting away from all this here. Getting away from Trump. You getting away from all the bullshit that's over here. I was about to say, you doing like Nas said, yo. I want to go to Africa, son. Get away from all this shit. Know what I'm saying? Let me get away from all this. You know what I'm saying? Get away from all. I'm going to start smoking weed. Somebody said, you going to start smoking weed? He said, damn, you done with weed too? He said, I'm going to get my life right. Get away from all this bullshit, man. Fuck all this. That's what I'm talking about. That's always good to hear. That's always good to hear. Like I said, peace and blessings to you, Simon. Safe travels to you, man. Safe travels to you. And please, follow the Instagram right there. Chill_Murray. Hit me up in the DMs and let me know how that is. You know, I want to see some pictures. Hopefully you do take some pictures, you know what I'm saying, of the travel. I definitely want to see the journey. That's good news for me to hear already. Starting in 2026. That's already good news and inspiration. That's motivation and inspiration for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't be tied down and confined to where you at right now. You can always make a change if you want to. That's inspirational right there. Salute to you, Simon says. Salute to you on your trip to Africa. For real, for real. I'm happy to hear that, man. Definitely.
Like E-Moneybags and 50, who in return felt abandoned by Chaz and thought that Preem was responsible for Blackjaw's death. So that might have been another reason why he joined Green Eyed Born and E-Moneybags in the war against Preem, and why he treated Chaz like an enemy. Cause Chaz never reached out to him, even after he got shot, and 50 to this day only spoke negatively about him, even after he passed.
So you're gonna be interviewing YouTubers? I like that. Not celebrities, okay. Well, hopefully I land a spot. Hopefully I do land a spot. Are you doing work for a production company? Okay. That's big news right there. That's big news and big moves right there. I love to hear progression. I love to hear good progression. I try, man. I try. That's one thing I do vow for 2026 is to remove my laziness. Is to definitely remove the laziness. I'm going to definitely save up and try to make that trip. I like heat, so I'll be okay in Africa. And I'm dark skinned, so I'll be good there. I'll definitely think about that. I'll definitely put that in consideration. I will definitely put that in consideration, for real, for real. Because like I said, that is the motherland. Yes, the ones that create black culture and hip-hop. Real hip-hop, anyway. Real hip-hop. Not the fabricated stuff that's over here. Okay, definitely. Like I said, the Instagram is right there, so just hit me up. Just DM me and let me know, give me the details. We will definitely arrange that. I can definitely put aside some vacation time and get myself over there. Just let me know when. And I will put the time aside for it. Trust and believe. I know. Trust me, I know. I already know they want us out there. I already know, my brother. I already know.
The next incident after the cancelled meeting was the stabbing in the Hit Factory recording studio on March 24, 2000. The Murder in Camp and 50 Cent were in the same building but in different rooms. Ja heard about 50 being there from the Fugees member Pras and wanted to jump him, but he was on crutches because of an accident. He messed up his ankle on MTV. So when Irv and Chris Gotti came, Ja convinced them to go find 50 and attack him. Blackchild joined in, but Ja himself didn't fight. 50 was in a different room with Tony Yayo, a DJ and 2 other people working on music. It took the Murder in Camp a while until they found them. But when they did, 50 was caught by surprise. The lights went off and the fight was so quick that 50 didn't even know what happened. Both sides threw punches, but Blackchild stabbed everyone in that room, including 50, who was injured in the gut. They were even throwing studio equipment at each other. 50 hit Chris Gotti with a speaker, and the Murder Inc. camp left as fast as they came.
When I'm hearing all the commotion, anything will happen, I'll come outside, and that's when I see Fifth coming out. I'm like, what's up, bro? You all right? I'm all right, like that, and walked out.
One of the 4 bosses and the third in charge of the Supreme team was actually in the same building that day. His name is James Anthony, also known as Bimmy. He saw 50 Cent when he was trying to leave the building, cause Bimmy was downstairs in a room with Mariah Carey. 50 and Ja were upstairs when the fight broke out, but Bimmy saw him when 50 came downstairs to leave. He didn't have anything to do with Murder Inc. and had no clue what was going on. He actually had a cool relationship with him, didn't get involved in the whole beef with Supreme. So 50 greeted him and went outside, trying to hide the fact that he's in pain from his stab wounds. The co-owner of the Source magazine, Benzino, then called the Atlantic car service for a cab and saved 50 Cent by letting him jump in and drive home safely. His grandma then cleaned the wound with peroxide, and then he went to the hospital the next day to avoid an infection. He got 3 stitches, some antibiotics, and that's it. Murder Inc. had to pay $250,000 for the hospital fees of those 5 that were injured. And the DJ actually reported it to the police. He got stabbed by just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, even though he had nothing to do with the beef. He was just there to engineer and produce. And that's where the restraining order came from. It was issued by the court after the DJ reported it to the police. Murder Inc. and Supreme thought that 50 was cooperating with the police, even though that's against the code of the streets. Irv and Chris Gotti got arrested for the attack, but got out due to 50 not showing up in court. They were not allowed to get close to 50 and the other 4 victims. Had to stay away at least 100 yards. The order of protection didn't include Ja Rule or members of the Supreme team, just Irv and Chris Gotti. The streets labeled 50 Cent a snitch, and 50 of course had a problem with this.
Remember all of the snitch, you a snitch, you this is now. Yeah. That's the worst thing you can be in the environment that I come up in.
In an interview he said, if there's one thing that's not cool to be in the streets, it's a snitch. You sentence a guy to death when you call him that. People from Murder Inc. were showing off paperwork to prove that 50 and Tony Yayo had an order of protection and that they were suing them. According to Ja Rule, the case got dropped because 50 didn't want problems with his label. Supreme's influence on Murder Inc. was increasing. Irv Gotti was the boss of the label on paper, but when Preem walked through the room and said something, everyone listened. Maybe Irv was the boss in the Universal building, but Preem had the keys to it. Came and went as he chose, and people followed his orders. He started to take the music business more seriously, and warned everybody in the industry, never f*** with Murder Inc. He knew they were his meal tickets, so he was protecting his interests. To him the 50 Cent thing was about nothing, but 50 wouldn't shut up. He's temperamental and says what he feels. I'm pragmatic and stick to facts that don't change every time I speak, Supreme said. And the existence of the order of protection was a fact. They had it on paper. Supreme started to think that 50 was cooperating with the cops and that he might be a snitch. And on top of that, Supreme got shot at a gas station and blamed 50 for it. Thought he was trying to kill him. He knew that 50 was close to his enemies, E Moneybags, Green Eyed Born and Big Nose Troy. Preem thought that they were out to get him. This was also around the time the infamous Ghetto Quran song got leaked online, even though it was supposed to be released on July 4th with 50's debut album Power of the Dollar under Columbia Records. It came out at a very vulnerable time for Preem. 50 was just getting on his nerves with everything he did. Every week there was a new problem related to him. He was deemed a snitch because of the order of protection, and now out of nowhere we get a song where he essentially names all the big drug dealers, kingpins, hustlers and gangsters in Queens, who were partially still active in the streets. The intention was to pay homage to street legends and some of his idols, but they took it differently and accused him of violating the code of the streets, saying that he was cooperating with the police and getting everyone in trouble, doing work for the FBI, which was already investigating.
And they wouldn't say nothing to me, though. He had a problem later when law enforcement started to hold on to the record.
Preem said, and I quote, "I never called him a snitch. I said his behavior could be construed as dry snitching. I was referring to his contact with federal agents and him telling them to listen to his lyrics. because law enforcement was starting to hold on to that records and asking 50 if he could elaborate and tell them what he knows about all the gangsters he named on Ghetto Quran. But 50 brushed them off and said, listen to the record. Supreme interpreted that statement as, use my record as evidence if you want to lock them up. Supreme abandoned peacemaking efforts after realizing that 50 was a quote-unquote Asian provocateur that vividly chronicled the South Jamaican crack trade and cooperated with the police. Supreme felt like he shouldn't have aired the dirty laundry, to which 50 responded with, if I'm a snitch, then who got locked up? Now, he doesn't like that I'm airing dirty laundry. He done put the laundry out on the line. I don't like none of them old folks. Their whole style is obsolete. Supreme then added, when we was coming up, there was a code of conduct. You didn't speak about dudes who may still be in the streets. Kid, you've never been through nothing. I was around wolves, man. I walked among giants. Supreme just felt provoked and disrespected. First he ignored his peacemaking efforts and him saying stay away from Ja. Then he dissed him, stole his chain and posed around with it in videos. And now he's exposing every drug dealer from Queens while telling his fans that he will destroy Murder Inc., which he labeled as a group of studio gangsters. Again, Preem was part of the Murder Inc. family. Every beef Ja Rule had, Preem took it on to himself. 50 also had an alliance with E Moneybags, Green Eyed Born and Big Nose Troy, who were all trying to kill Supreme. All the OGs and street legends were turning his back on him. Supreme felt like he had more than enough reasons to do something about it, thinking 50 might get him locked up or ruin his business if he continues. 50 argued that everything he revealed on Ghetto Quran was already in the book Cop Shot, which was available in the library. But this is untrue, because there are names in the song that weren't mentioned in the book. He also said that everything was in the newspapers and already publicly known, but they took it differently. DJs would get beaten up and threatened for playing that records, told to not promote it or put it on mixtapes. The streets obeyed and 50 was labeled a snitch. No recording studio in America would let him record in their facility. That's why he went to Canada to record music.
You know, people look at it and go, well, he wasn't supposed to say that about me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to take hip hop to being back to when we were a little more competitive. Now it's to the point where the artist was even scared to say your name. Like,
people were too scared to drop names on songs, mainly because of the East Coast West Coast war. And 50 wanted to revolutionize the rap game with songs like How to Rob, in which he called out like 50 people, dissing dozens of MCs to get their respect. Ghetto Quran was like the street version of it. First he got the respect from the industry, and now he wants the respect from the streets.
And this is the song that Gene Deal was talking about, the How to Rob record. So the How to Rob record, I remember when this was out, because I was a young buck when this was out. And when this shit dropped, it pretty much angered a lot of people. I'm talking about a lot of people. To the point where 50, you know, before he even had the situation with getting shot, this is before he got shot 9 times. How to Rob. This is when Power the Dollar was out. This is when the Clue mixtapes was out. I forgot what soundtrack this ended up on. Let me see something real quick. What soundtrack did this end up on? In Too Deep. The movie In Too Deep. With Omar Epps. I remember that. Like I said, that shit right there, How to Rob. Bottom line is, I'm a crook with a deal. If my record don't sell, I'm a rob and steal. Recognize, son, I'm straight from the street. These industry niggas looking like something to eat. And the first thing he comes out his mouth with is about Puff. Get your ass down to this ATM. To myself, he held Kim for ransom, and he dissed Jay in it. He dissed Heavy D. He dissed everybody in this motherfucker. But like I said, it was a more very comedic way of how he was gonna, rob the industry. But it was a great way of branding himself and separating himself from everybody else in the industry as well. Like I said, great marketing and great branding for someone that just wasn't signed yet. You know what I mean?
By being the first MC who has enough courage to rap about the Supreme Team and other highly respected drug dealers as if he's an associate or somebody who has witnessed everything firsthand. basically throwing his name into the mix as somebody who deserves the same level of respect as the people mentioned, pointing his finger at every major drug dealer and associate of the Supreme team on one of the greatest and most sensational hip-hop records ever. 50 tried to lure Ja Rule into a battle by airing out Supreme's legacy on a song, not knowing that he would get shot for it. He thought Preem would just make him respond on records, after being fed up with him, cause before that Ja felt like he's too big to address him. Supreme even sent out a message telling 50 to stop rapping about him. He was a nuisance and a pest to him. Can you believe the nerve of this little motherfucker? 50's audacity made him a serious threat. A quote-unquote dry snitch who would cause drama and do everything for attention. Somebody who just doesn't care about anything or anyone, and doesn't know when to stop. Every time Preem and Murder Inc. turned around, 50 was there taunting them, questioning their manhood and their street cred. Preem was afraid that 50 would destroy or harm Ja Rule's career and slow down their money, which means he was a threat for his business and also for their reputation on the streets. Cause Supreme didn't tolerate any form of disrespect, especially not from a kid. 50 could become a serious problem once he gets a larger following. Preem also felt physically intimidated by him.
Someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
Man, you are tough.
You don't have to address a rapper with killing them, with shooting them. You know what I'm saying? 9 times. Rapper says something you don't like, you hit him over the head. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna write a rap about it.
50 was one of the few people who never showed fear in Preem's presence. He just didn't seem to care, as if he wasn't one of the most respected, feared and idolized people in Queens. Every time he went at Ja, he subliminally told Preem that he doesn't respect him enough to stay away from his associates and business partners. You got the impression that he'll attack anybody if he wants, and that nobody can tell him what to do.
I remember Preem coming to the block one day and try to sun 50 and rub his head, and 50 rubbed his head. And Preem, and that was the day I know Preem didn't like 50. Preem, dude, you know the old school shit. You know what 50 did? Yeah, man.
Do it back, yeah.
You know what the block did?
Yeah, that's what
There's only 4 niggas that I know personally in Queens that wasn't scared of Preem. 50, E-Money Bags, Homo, and Big Nose Troy.
Supreme was afraid of the consequences of what may happen if the song blows up or helps the FBI with their investigations. They were desperately trying to get him back in. He also felt physically threatened and still wanted retaliation for Black Just, after finding out that 50 joined the coalition between Just's killer E-Moneybags, Big Nose Troy, and Preem's right-hand man turned rival Green-Eyed Born. Both sides were in a war and put out hits on each other. Irv Gotti got smacked up by the 3 gentlemen I just mentioned, and 50 was just desperately asking for trouble, not listening to advices and orders from OGs, and continuing to go at Ja. So Supreme decided to get rid of them, and put out a hit on all 4, $25,000 a head. The hitmen were told to kill them on sight. 50 was the first to get hit on May 24th, 2000. But he survived. E-Moneybags was shot on July 16th, 2001 by 4 hitmen, and Big Nose Troy Singleton was killed the same year on October 28th. Green-Eyed Born got away and was never found. For the hit on 50, Preem paid the assailant Daryl Harmo Baum, who was Mike Tyson's close friend and bodyguard, to get the job done. And 3 months after the leak of Ghetto Quran, on May 24th, 12 p.m., 50 was shot 9 times in front of his grandmother's house, while he was in the back seat of his friend Curtis Brown's car, which was parked right in front of the house. The driver was waiting there with his girlfriend. When 50 got out the house, he checked if there's anything out of the ordinary. But everything seemed fine, so he hopped in the car. The driver then wondered where his diamond cross pendant was. 50 had left it in the house, but the driver wanted him to get it so he can wear it. 50 then hopped out the car to get the chain along with a gun, in case they run into some problems due to the flashiness of the jewelry. He saw a car ease up the block when he got out the house, but didn't think much of it. So he got back in the car, and the assailant got out at the same time. He then approached 50, who then felt him come over his shoulder, but he didn't see him. Harmo was going around the car. When 50 handed his driver the jewelry, the shooter sneaked up from the left side and fired shots. 50 jumped and felt his leg burning. He fell back down while Harmo was still shooting. A bullet tore into his face and he thought his mouth exploded. Another slug blew up his hand before the driver finally pulled off. They immediately rushed to the hospital where he spent the next 13 days. He had wounds in his hand, arm, hip, legs, chest.
Laura Dabala, Happy New Year and good morning to you as well. Good morning and Happy New Year to you. I'm not, where are you that it's good morning? Where are you in the world that it's good morning? I've had people come from different sides of the world also on this pod, so I know somebody was from Paris before. I've had, I think, John Asatasi in Hawaii. So I do remember, like I said, people are from different parts of the world. So Happy New Year to you. I hope you are getting all your blessings and prayers answered to you for the new 2026 coming into the year. We're going to have we're going to have a lot of progress and a very, very productive year moving forward as well.
And left cheek, which resulted in a swollen tongue, the loss of a wisdom tooth, and a slightly slurred voice. His legs were also broken. His friend only got shot in the hands and left the hospital the same day. Chaz Slim didn't reach out or check on him, so 50 assumed that he knew about the shooting. Irv Gotti, on the other hand, sent a flurry of messages, allegedly within 30 minutes of the shooting, asking how many times 50 got shot and if he was killed. Preem then had a meeting with Harmo and the people in the car. 3 weeks later, on June 10th, 2000, Harmo was shot and killed in a drug war with Damian World Hardy. 50 had nothing to do with the shooting. Harmo was shot in the back of the head and died immediately. The shooter, Damian World Hardy, was accused of committing more than 6 murders as well as racketeering. He was once engaged to the rapper Lil Kim. Mike Tyson then dedicated the fight to his fallen friends and allegedly put up $50,000 for a hit on the Brooklyn gang Cash Money Click, which Damian World was a part of.
I dedicate this fight to my brother, Darryl Baum, who died. I'll be there to see you. I love you with all my heart.
The same man that killed Harmo then tried to shoot 50 Cent and his crew in the year 2003 for dissing Lil Kim on the radio when he was talking about their collaboration on the song Magic Stick. Then in 2015, Damian World Hardy got a life in prison sentence for 6 murders. But back to our topic. After getting shot 9 times and being rushed to the hospital, Murder Inc. was still not done sabotaging 50's career. Supreme made sure that his debut album, Power of the Dollar, never saw the light of day, even though it was supposed to be released on July 4th. There are even rumors of Supreme being responsible for the murder of Jam Master Jay on October 30th, 2002. Because 50 was signed to Jay's record company between 1996 and 1999, and people thought Supreme had a problem with that, even though he had no clue that Jam Master Jay had signed him back then. That was years before the beef. Supreme was actually cool with him, and had a lot of love and respect for him. 50 wasn't even signed to him anymore when the beef started or when he got shot, cause he got a deal with Columbia in 1999. They paid him $65,000 in advance, of which he gave $50,000 to Jam Master Jay, to release him from the label and to get out of the contract.
I was signed to Jam Master Jay at JMJ Records, and I didn't really see myself going any further from in that situation.
Jam Master Jay deal was me paying for learning. I got $65,000 in advance from Columbia. $50,000 went to Jam Master Jay to negotiate the release from JMJ Records. $10,000 went to the attorney that drew the contracts up between me and Columbia and the release between me and Jam Master Jay. They left me with $5,000, and I was out there for over a year before the record came out. So I was back selling crack.
He had no involvement in 50's career afterwards. Supreme had no reason to get him killed, even if he knew about it. That's just a silly rumor that people keep spreading for the past 2 decades. I mean, Black Just and Bimmy from the Supreme team were cool with 52, even though they were working for Preem. So he didn't just put out hits on people because they were cool with him in the past.
I never knew he was signed to Jay. I never knew he was signed to Jay. I mean, I knew Jay used to mess with him, or he was his prodigy, but I know nothing about it as far as his business ends, or if he was signed to him, or anything like that. Jay was cool. I never had a beef with him. Like, everything I know about Jay is just knowing, hearing about him in the hood, you know what I'm saying? And everything I knew about Jay was a cool dude.
When 50 got shot, he was dropped from the record label Columbia. Jam Master Jay didn't help him at all when that happened. I mean, he could have just signed him again if they really had that type of relationship. If he did, then you could make an argument. but it was all just business to him. Took the $50,000 to release him from the label and kept it moving. 50 had no money back then. From the $65,000 he received, he only kept $5,000 in the end, and that was supposed to keep him alive until his album drops a year later. He was a struggling artist and admitted that he went back to selling crack after that, because $5,000 are obviously not enough to feed you for a whole year. Jam Master Jay could have helped him in that situation, but he didn't. The Supreme team set 50 back not only through his physical injuries but also business-wise, blackballing him for the next couple of years. Several labels were threatened not to sign him or put out his records. Same goes for DJs and recording studios. Nobody was allowed to help him. For 50 Cent, getting dropped on the label was worse than getting shot. After his recovery, 50 said he tried to kill Supreme. Waited for him in a 1993 Dodge Caravan with 3 hubcaps, in front of Supreme's grandmother's house in Baisley Projects. He even slept in it, waiting for Preem to come, but he never showed up. He said that Preem made him paranoid, that he couldn't walk around unless he had a bulletproof vest and a pistol on him. He, quote-unquote, wanted to blow Preem's head off 12 o'clock in the afternoon in front of his grandmother's house, the same way they did it to him. But anyway, let's take a look at the song Ghetto Quran and find out what exactly the problem was.
Yo, when you hear talk of the South Side, you hear talk of the team. Prince and respected Preem.
50 wastes no time and gets straight to the topic, mentioning the Supreme team in the first line of verse 1. He name-dropped the 2 leaders of the Supreme team, Kenneth Supreme McGriff, the man who put out the hit on 50, and his nephew Gerald Prince Miller, who was known as the Killer, responsible for the security force, keeping an eye on his rivals and potentially disloyal team members. And of course he also had to take over when Supreme was incarcerated. Helped to reorganize the gang, but people knew him mainly for doing the dirty work.
For you slow motherfuckers, I'ma break it down iller. Supreme was the businessman and Prince was the killer.
Supreme mainly focused on the business and only used violence when absolutely necessary. He himself wasn't a killer, but he would put out hits on people, like the rapper E-Moneybags on July 16th and Big Nose Troy Singleton on October 28, 2001, for which he was convicted in federal court 6 years later in 2007, along with racketeering, narcotics trafficking, and engaging in illegal financial transactions with drug money. Although facing death penalty for this conviction, he was ultimately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But that wasn't the first time he went to prison. In 1987, he got locked up for narcotics possession, leaving his 2-year younger nephew and right-hand man Gerald Prince Miller in power on the outside. Supreme was always seen as the negotiator and the brain of the organization, but now Prince was forced to take over for him and keep the business running. He solidified his control by increasing the security force and employing it against rivals and team members suspected of disloyalty. He hired the brothers Knowledge and Shannon as his lieutenants, and appointed Puerto Rican Righteous as one of his top enforcers. C-Just, Big C, Pookie, Ace and Shannon formed the security team. Their weaponry consisted of AR-15s, MAC-10s, 9s, 45s, 357s and techs. They would jump out of minivans like Black Ops in army fatigues. When people on the block saw them, they would start running and scrambling, praying that the gun thugs weren't coming for them. Prince was infamous for making witnesses disappear, and always wearing a bulletproof vest and a baseball cap everywhere he went, driving a tricked-out James Bond-enhanced bulletproof BMW. Compared to Supreme, he relied more on violence. Although no slaying was ever tied back to him, bodies began piling up at an even faster clip until Prince got arrested in March 1990. In 1987 alone, Prince ordered at least 8 homicides. He was ultimately sentenced in 1993 to 6 consecutive life terms for drug trafficking. When Supreme was on top, they generated up to $200,000 daily, selling crack and cocaine at Baisley Projects. After Prince took over, they sold the yellow top vials of crack in and outside of Baisley Projects, making almost $500,000 monthly.
Had the whole projects working for 50 or 500 as a youth. All I ever did was sell crack.
The Supreme team met the dealers in the projects on a payroll, where they earned $50 for every $500 worth of crack sold. 50 was one of those boys selling crack when he was younger. Even got arrested for selling crack and heroin. He then mentions 2 more drug dealers, Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, and Howard Pappy Mason.
I used to idolize Cat. Hurt me to my heart to hear that snitched on Pat. How you go out like that?
Fat Cat was the biggest drug dealer of South Jamaica in the early 80s, and the leader of the Southside drug gang Seven Crowns, who supplied the Supreme Team with powder cocaine, supposedly obtained through his connection with the Italian Mafia. He was arrested in 1985 for the murder of his parole officer Brian Rooney, and pleaded guilty in 1992. He ordered two of his lieutenants, Howard Pappy Mason and Chris Williams, for the killing. The former was arrested but beat the case and was released 3 years later in 1988. He went back in just 10 days later. Pappy became the most feared man on the streets in the 80s and ran a drug smuggling gang called the Bebos in Jamaica, Queens, which made around $200,000 profit per month. He was hired by Fat Cat as his muscle for $1,000 per week and was his chief enforcer. At its peak, Fat Cat's organization generated $20 million annually in drug sales. Another incident that's relevant here is the murder of New York rookie cop Edward Bryan in 1988, which Pappy Mason ordered while he was still behind bars, on gun charges sentenced to 7 years in prison. Philip Mason, Scott Cobb, Todd Scott, and David McClary shot the man for $2,000 each, but they all got caught and got 25 to life. The murder led to increased law enforcement attention and his conviction on various charges. On December 11, 1989, Mason was convicted on federal charges, including the murder of Officer Bryan. He was given a life sentence in 1994. 50 mentioned this again in the second verse. His former partner Fat Cat was rumored to have cooperated with the police in their prosecution of Pappy Mason, in a secret session in which a plea was entered after Cat was transported from his prison cell to the US courthouse. He quote-unquote snitched on Pappy Mason for lighter sentences for himself and his family. He was already serving a 25 to life sentence stemming from drug convictions in state court, and in 1992 he pleaded guilty to ordering Officer Brian Rooney's murder, and was sentenced to a term of 25 years to life in prison for his role in the crime. He was also given a 40-year sentence in connection with federal racketeering, murder, and narcotic convictions. Pappy got life in prison, and people, including 50 Cent, lost respect for Fat Cat for turning into a snitch.
I used to idolize Cat. Hurt me to my heart to hear that nigga snitched on Pat. How you go out like that? Rumors in the hood was just for snitching. I ain't believe that, Paul.
Then he mentions Colbert Black Just Johnson, who was a Supreme Team lieutenant close to Rich Porter, AZ, and Alpo. I mentioned him earlier in the video. High in rank, the number 4 of the Supreme Team, after Preem, Prince, and Bimmy. He got shot and killed by E Moneybags on December 11, 1999. It is said that he made around $20,000 to $30,000 every day and took care of the Supreme Team members financially, as they went in and out of jail fighting their cases or did their time in prison. Blackie was very involved in the mid-80s and 90s hip-hop scenes, going to all the parties and events, hanging out with all the rap superstars. He was like 50's older brother. Got him his first GSXR motorcycle. He also financed a boxing gym and encouraged 50 to box when he was younger. He was like 15 when he became part of the boxing program. Black Just also had a large variety of vehicles, like a Toyota 4Runner SUV with a customized Gucci interior, 2 BMWs 3 and 5 Series, a Nissan Z sports car, and also jet skis, which he allowed 50 to use. He kept him under his wing, even though Supreme never seemed to like him. But people were saying that Just is a snitch, and 50 put these lines in here to honor and defend him. He starts naming some of the lesser known members of the Supreme Team, like Gerald Wallace for example, saying that it's very easy for him to name every drug dealer from Queens. The little ones, the ones that are putting the strings in the background, staying low profile, and also the bigger ones that everybody knows about, like Troy Babywise Jones for example, who was another Supreme Team lieutenant that was down since day one, a killer, and one of the 4 bosses of the Supreme Team, along with Prince, Bimmy, and Black Just, someone who allegedly shot another crew member called Green Eyed Born in the leg for having a disagreement with Supreme. The story goes that he stole some jewelry from Preem and tried to sell it to Chaz Slim Williams, who later on became 50's manager. Chaz of course told Preem about it, cause else he would have put his life in danger. And like I explained earlier in the video, Green Eyed Born became one of Supreme's biggest enemies, even though he was his right-hand man from the get-go. Baby Wise allegedly made around $20,000 to $30,000 a day and was a Supreme loyalist and supporter, who answered to no one but himself. He has ducked all the big cases by always knowing when to cut out from the scene. It is said that he was always secretive, never talked business on the phone, didn't take photos or go out to parties, preferred to stay low profile and in the shadows. One of the most intelligent members of the team. His word and advice was highly respected. People always listened when he talked. His whereabouts are unknown, currently free and living his life, staying low profile and out of the way. Then he mentions two lesser known members, LA and Wise.
Don't be surprised at how freely I throw our names of guys who dealt with pies like LA and Wise.
It's not for certain who 50 is addressing here. There are multiple people with the nickname Wise that are associated with the Supreme team, like Lawrence Wise McGriff, for example, who was the nephew of Preem. He served 16 years in prison from 1987 to 2003 for murder, manslaughter, various drug and weapon charges, and is now the Vice President of Marketing and Promotion and also Vice President of A&R for Universal Def Jam Records. He also confirmed that 50 Cent's Ghetto Quran actually got people locked up, which 50 of course denies to this day.
Ghetto Quran was a beautiful song, but that same song is getting motherfuckers locked up.
There's another man called Wise, who's Prince's older brother and a nephew of Preem. His name is Daryl Miller, but he wasn't a hustler. People label him as a disappointment and quote-unquote complete fuck-up. He was a crack addict that stole $200,000 to $300,000 of his brother's money while he was in prison. Whatever Prince had left, his brother wasted it all on drugs. With cases mounting up, the team needed money as fast as possible. And that's what led to the infamous story that 50 mentioned in the following lines. The Supreme Team member Gus Rivera had connections to Colombian cocaine suppliers, and one of the security workers of the team, called Pookie, came up with a plan to ambush them. They had done many transactions with the Colombian pair Fernando and George, so they were taken completely unaware. Pookie assembled a crew of the team's toughest members, including C Just, Puerto Rican Righteous, and Big C, to help execute the plan. Prince gave them the order to take out the Colombian suppliers over the prison phone. Puerto Rican Righteous gathered the entire Supreme Team security force at Baisley Projects, telling them that there'll be a major transaction the next day. Gus Rivera was shocked when he found out that the suppliers were about to get murdered. When Fernando and George showed up with their duffel bag of cocaine, C Just, Shannon and Pookie then allegedly led the Colombians up to apartment 3K that Pookie was renting. They forced those two to get on the ground and tied their hands with rope. A dresser was pushed up against the door to block anyone from entering. The Colombian supplier Fernando then begged them to just take the cocaine and let him go. Pookie then smacked him in the head with a gun to shut him up. C Just then instructed Puerto Rican Righteous and Shannon to go downstairs and see if anyone was waiting for them outside. They saw a pair of Hispanic-looking men sitting in a car and brought them inside the apartment. Righteous then left the room after they struggled to come up with a method of murdering the entire group. But then the Supreme Team enforcer Big C arrived, and his presence alone spurred the team to take action. The Colombians were strangled with ropes and beaten with hammers. Puerto Rican Righteous then talked with Prince on the phone and told him that they obtained 5 kilos of cocaine, even though they expected 10. So 50 Cent made a little mistake here. They only stole 5 bricks instead of 10. The bodies were then put in bags and tied with ropes, in order to keep them in place, loaded up in the blue Ford Taurus and dumped at a series of locations all just blocks away from Baisley Projects. But everything was falling apart. The whole team was about to go down. So Prince needed more money. He then set up another mission for his crew. The suppliers murdered by the Supreme Team were Colombians, not Dominicans. They connected with new Colombian suppliers, Fernando Suarez and Pablo Perlaza. Prince met a cocaine dealer called Jaime Padro on Rikers Island, who introduced C Just, the enforcer of the team, to those suppliers. but they only brought 2 kilos, even though they expected and needed more. C just then pulled out a gun and accused the suppliers of being cops or informants. The team then tied the hands and the feet of the Colombians with black electrical tape and put plastic bags over their heads. They were then trying to gasp for air. The team made fun of the way they sucked the bags into their mouths while they were trying to breathe. While the 2 suppliers were suffocating, Pookie beat their heads in with a baseball bat. Gus Rivera, the guy who had connections to the Colombians, got nervous after that, and the team was worried about his knowledge and his nervousness about the murders, as he had started to wear a bulletproof vest everywhere he went. They thought he would be a liability, so Big C put a .44 Magnum to Rivera's head and fired. But he miraculously survived and was treated at the Mary Immaculate Hospital on 89th Avenue in Jamaica. He then tried to go into hiding, but the team followed him back to his girlfriend's home at the Jade East Motel, where they forced her to tell him in which room he's hiding. They took her key and killed him on the spot. Pookie was shot in the hand that day. He ended up stumbling down the stairwell. Droplets of his blood hit the floor, and the cops used it as evidence linking the crew to the killing.
I know a lot of niggas that get dough like Bimmy and Joe.
James Bimmy Anthony was one of the 4 crew bosses and the 3rd in charge of the Supreme team. He ran things when Supreme and Prince were behind bars. Bimmy, as well as Black Just, were close to 50 since his teens. They both stayed out of the Murder Inc. beef, but they're both known to be down with the hip-hop scene since day one. Bimmy ran with Run DMC, Russell Simmons and LL Cool J when they were still rapping on the block. Wasn't known to bust his gun or use violence, but he has always been a serious money getter and hustler. His crew controlled several drug spots in and around Baisley projects and made almost $20,000 to $30,000 every other day selling crack and cocaine. He has done some time in the state here and there, but nothing major. A 3 to life bid in the state, but never caught another major bid again. The other person 50 mentioned is someone close to Bimmy. In interviews, he called him his brother.
Joe is my brother. You know what I mean? Like, he gave it up. He know what it was. You know what I mean? How you can get mad at that?
I know a lot of that get dough like Bimmy and Joe. And Prince and Righteous from Hillside with the mole on his nose.
I already spoke on Prince in detail and mentioned Righteous when I touched on the infamous killings of the Colombian suppliers. But to sum it up, he was the head of security of the Supreme team. His full name is Ernesto Pinella, also known as Puerto Rican Righteous, one of the most respected and feared members of the team. When Supreme and Prince were in jail fighting cases, Righteous handled their business, collected money and enforced their will on the streets. He's been in and out of jail since the 80s for various violent crimes, known as the ultimate stand-up guy, till his late 80s arrest for engaging in a shootout with 3 police officers. He eventually pleaded guilty to this charge and agreed to testify against Prince and his fellow security team members for an 8 to 16-year fixed term in the state for his cooperation. He did this because Prince allegedly slept with his wife when he was locked up, implying that Prince betrayed him first. He was known as a loose cannon, who perpetrated the worst of the Supreme Team's heinous and violent crimes, and then flipped the script on his comrades and blamed them for his actions. He did his time in prison, got out, forever branded a rat, a snitch. His current whereabouts are unknown.
Man, I'ma get cheese like Chaz.
Chaz Slim Williams was a street legend in Queens, who managed 50 Cent in the late 90s. In his youth, he was a street dude and gang member that was given an 18-month juvenile detention sentence, but plotted a successful jailbreak that involved distracting security with an outburst. Upon his escape, he fled over the US border to Canada, where he was almost immediately caught for another attempted robbery. He later went on to rob around 60 banks in the 70s, and received a 95-year prison term that was eventually whittled down to a decade and a half. Later on, he decided to go legit and founded the label Black Hand Entertainment to help shape the careers of rap stars like 50 Cent and Foxy Brown. 50 has claimed that Chaz was involved or knew about multiple attempts on his life, a fact he mentioned on the song Many Men.
Slim switch sides on me, let ride on me. I thought we was cool, why you want me to die, homie?
I was actually fortunate enough to meet Chaz Williams before he passed. and was imprisoned. I was fortunate enough to meet him when I was rapping back when I was young through my uncles. He was actually a very solid guy. Despite what people say about him, he was actually a very, very solid guy.
Chaz passed away on July 13th, 2019, and didn't get a chance to squash the beef with 50, even though he always portrayed himself as a neutral person who didn't have anything to do with the shooting. Tyron Tata Moore was an associate of Supreme that ironically might have been involved in 50's shooting, for which this song played a significant role. 50 even addressed these rumors on the song F You off the mixtape Guess Who's Back in the year 2002.
Hey 50, who shot you? You think it was Preem? Freeze or Tata? Street shit, you stay in the streets.
Next person he mentions is Corley Wall.
If I know some cats that hell out whole complexes like Corley Wall. Together you stand and divided they fall.
James Corley, also known as Wall, was one of the originators of the drug game, as the ringleader of a big-time cocaine ring. He walked among giants and was in the midst of all the early development, well known for being one of the founders of the Queen's drug trade as a member of the Round Table, the conglomerate of Southside Jamaica drug barons that held sway at the dawn of hip-hop and the crack era. Wall was not a member of the Supreme Team. He had his own unique thing at 40 Projects, where he ruled a drug empire with his brothers Peter and Donald Ducky Corley, who collectively were known as the Corley Brothers, which controlled 40 Projects, just like Fat Cat and Pappy Mason controlled the block, and the Supreme Team ran Baisley Projects. He was in the drug game for over 30 years, even after 50 Cent dropped the song and mentioned him. So his statements that none of the drug dealers addressed in Ghetto Quran were active was false.
Fat Cat actually ran the back streets where I was from in Southside Queens.
Cause Corley Wall was arrested in 2012 and was charged with criminal sale of a controlled substance and other drug charges after a 15-month undercover investigation that used wiretaps and surveillance. 44 other people were also charged with drug crimes and the dismantling of Corley's operation.
Round here, shook they keep it in motion. Come around here with your roller, you can get robbed like Ocean.
Vincent Palermo, also known as Vinny Ocean, was an Italian-American mobster who was the de facto boss of the New Jersey De Cavalcante crime family, before becoming a government witness in 1999. He was robbed for
which is crazy, he has a whole podcast now.
His cash and jewelry in Queens.
Lord knows, Tommy had Lord and soul. Helicopters, Rolls Royces with Louis Vuitton interior.
Thomas Mickens, also known as Tony Montana, was a prominent Laurelton, Queens drug dealer and multi-millionaire who came up with unique ways to launder and spend drug money, like for example starting a chain of businesses in Queens under the Montana name. In 1990, Tommy was sentenced to 35 years in prison for charges including tax evasion, but he was released in 2008, which means he only served 18 years instead of 35.
Yo, rest in peace to Rich and Ron. Money what they was about, yo. The twins was from Queens but got crazy cream without Poe.
Richard and Ronald Hughes were twins from Queens that made their money in a Harlem-based drug gang, with another former drug dealer called Alpo Martinez, who was of Puerto Rican descent and one of the biggest names in the drug game. He rose to prominence in the mid-80s and expanded his drug trade to other cities, most notably Washington, D.C. He was arrested on November 7, 1991 in Washington, D.C. for selling drugs, and was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, various drug charges, and 14 counts of murder, including the one of D.C. drug dealer Michael Anthony Salters, aka Frey, and Brooklyn drug dealer Demencio Benson, facing the possibility of either the death penalty or life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Alpo turned informant and testified against members of his organization. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison and was released in 2015 at the age of 49. 50 then names a list of lesser-known drug dealers.
Throughout my time I heard tales of Jaime, Frenchie, Jamaican Paulie, Ducky Corley, Rodney Bumper Chick.
I mentioned Ducky Corley earlier. He's the brother of Corley Wall and part of the gang Corley family. Ronnie Burnell Bassett, also known as Bump or Bumps, was a heroin dealer who Supreme worked for as a stash house guard in his earlier days. Bumps was chosen to take over the wholesale heroin distribution of another drug dealer named Pops Freeman back in 1979, and achieved success comparable to that of Harlem kingpin Nicky Barnes. He had more than 100 employees running his numbers and drug rackets in at least 9 outlets around Queens. Took his business to at least 8 other cities around the country. During a 9-week period, federal agents traced $1.2 million worth of uncut heroin with a street value of more than $15,000 back to Bumps' operation. One of the people he supplied with drugs was Fat Cat, who years later made business with the Supreme team.
I'm forgetting Lefty and Jazz, Pretty Tony and Lance, Head Luke, Mel's son, Troy and E Money Bags.
Lefty and Jazzy Jennings were drug dealers that operated in the immediate vicinity of the Arjun house, which is what Officer Bryan was guarding when he was shot 5 times in the face on the orders of Howard Peppy Mason. Anthony Furtado, also known as Pretty Tony, was the leader of a Queens gang called Black Rain, in which his brother Lance was also allegedly involved. Both were arrested in 1995. Pretty Tony, at that point in time, moved to Oregon to avoid the heat brought on by the Edward Bryan murder. Luke Spoon Steffens was a former lieutenant in Fat Cat's drug enterprise. Big Nose Troy Singleton was a southeast Queens hustler with a long storied history in the neighborhood. The year after the release of the song, on October 28, 2000, he was shot dead by Supreme Team member Emmanuel Dog Mosley, on orders of Supreme. The same shooter was charged in the death of Eric E. Moneybag Smith. Supreme put out a hit on those two along with 50 Cent and Green Eyed Born, who was never found by the assassins. But the four had formed an alliance against Supreme. E. Moneybags was a Brooklyn-born, Queens-raised rapper who was killed on July 16, 2001. They fired over 40 rounds into the car and struck him 10 times. The murder was videotaped so that Supreme could quote-unquote watch it at home and enjoy it, as Bags had tried to take Preem's life 2 years prior to this incident and accidentally killed Black Just in a shootout. So it was all revenge for one of his lieutenants. 6 years later, in 2007, Supreme was charged for the murders of those two and is now facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. He ends the song by shouting out 4 more people.
Shout out to Clamson, Clutch, Bob Dre, Black Will, if the flow don't kill you, the Mac will. Forgive me.
After the shooting, 50 Cent spent 13 days at the hospital and had to use a walker for the first 6 weeks. It took him a total of 5 months to fully recover. Started working out to develop the muscular physique that everybody knows him for. The blacklisting hindered him from recording music in a US studio, so he went to Canada to record over 30 songs for mixtapes to build a reputation, rapping on the hardest beats from every artist until he reached a certain level of popularity. Then he dropped the legendary mixtape Guess Who's Back, which had the song Ghetto Quran on it, probably to provoke Supreme and to show that he ain't scared of anybody. Even had a diss song called F*** You on the mixtape, which was aimed at the people who are trying to kill him. 50 Cent, the first bulletproof rapper. That's how he was marketed back then. All around the world. Back then, 50 was treated like a superhero, surviving 9 shots and then coming back stronger. He shook up the underground scene and finally got the attention he wanted, cause Eminem heard the mixtape the same year and invited him to LA to meet Dr. Dre. After that, he signed $1 million record deal with Shady Aftermath, and the rest is history.
They're punished by watching my success. My issues with Preem.
He actually projected himself. His lifestyle is consistent.
He was true to it.
He never ratted on nobody.
Let Preem tell you I'm a snitch. Just say it one time. Right. All you gotta do is ask him who I told on. I ain't never told on no in my life, boy. Yeah. And the Preem situation, look at this case. It'll tell you who told on him. Right. My name ain't in that case.
Now you should live in a penitentiary so your name lives. You see what I'm saying? Right. Live up to your name. See, the difference is your reputation doesn't mean anything because everybody there is like you. Some people really look strong, and it's their influence that's really strong. And they're really weak individuals. See, I didn't have anybody to go to. And with nobody to run to.
Everybody's greater in their absence than they are in their presence. His aura is stronger than he is. Ask him about that when he go get his arm broke in the joint.
they missed that part. He gonna say he slipped, fell on the mop. Yeah.
I'm just the best.
Very iconic story. Very iconic story in history of the amazing 50 Cent, who is still around. Shot 9 times, but that is the deep-rooted story of Supreme and his beef. And again, the deep-rooted part of that is that Supreme was known associated with Puff. He was known associates with Jay. That is one of the main reasons why 50 has a long-standing hatred with these guys in the industry and will forever be the outcast. Because these guys had an affiliation with someone that had something to do with him being shot 9 times, they will forever be on his shit list. Forever. And you know how he is. He's the petty cancer. You do something to him, it's going to always stick with him until he gets you. And he's going to keep getting you. He's going to keep going at you. That's just how 50 is. That's just how 50 is, and it will always be. It is 2:30 in the morning here, y'all. 2:30 in the morning here. We've been going for 3.5. All right, well, I do have to get up tomorrow. I do have to work tomorrow, I should say. I have to get up tomorrow. Yeah, I have to get up tomorrow. I have to get up to be there at 12:30 to 8 tomorrow. So I shall be back tomorrow. I shall be back on tomorrow night. And Friday night, I would like to stream Marvel Rivals, as well as I will be streaming the casting of Frank Stone. That's right. We're going to be doing some game streams on here, y'all. And moving forward for 2026, we're also going to be doing some games off the Steam. We got to do some scary games off the Steam. No kitty shit. We're going to be doing some grown shit. We're going to be doing some real shit. I don't know if I'm going to be playing that Huntsman game. That Huntsman Spider game, but we're going to be doing more content like this moving forward as well. I have stuff to... we're definitely going to upgrade the Patreon. I have to clear the space out on the Patreon and get some more stuff up. Shout out to everybody that's signed up to the Patreon as well. We put that link in the chat. I don't know why I don't got it up there. Let me put this link up here for everybody. That's the Patreon for anybody. And if anybody would like to donate to the pod, the Cash App is also right there. If you would like to donate to the pod, any and anything at all is accepted. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so before I get on out of here, I did have one more thing to look at here. 'Cause this was kind of crazy when I did see it. Did y'all see the UPS guy? The crazy fake UPS delivery guy? This is kind of crazy, y'all.
On January 26, 2024, a family of 5, a father, a mother, their 20-year-old son, and 2 young children under the age of 5, were living a normal day inside their home on 94th Avenue Northwest in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, completely unaware of what was coming their way, as a navy blue Nissan Altima pulled up outside, and 3 suspects stepped out, 2 of them dressed in UPS-style uniforms, pretending to be delivery workers while secretly planning a robbery. A plan that would, within minutes, explode into a brutal encounter that would shock the entire community.
Our coverage is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. A crash, a fall, a serious injury that changes everything. If it wasn't your fault, why should you settle for less? Insurance companies often push low offers, quick checks that barely cover the bills. But Morgan & Morgan knows what real justice looks like. They've helped recover billions for injury victims nationwide, including cases where payouts were 30 or 40 times higher than what insurers offered. If you're injured because of someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. With over 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, help is always nearby, and you can start it right on your phone. There's no cost to get started. And if they don't win, you don't pay. Your case could be worth far more than you think. You can go to forthepeople.com/MidwestCrime or scan our QR code on screen from your phone's camera now to see if you have a case.
This exclusive video was first obtained by Midwest Crime and has never been seen by the public before.
So as you heard, even though this happened in 24, this is the first time the footage just got released, like the footage that happened with the 10-year-old that had the shootout with the police, or I should say the shootout with the standoff with the police, I should say. The footage was just now released to the public.
Están tocando.
One of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup.
Ain't no big dog, is it? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet. Hey, check it out. Come here. Don't move. Don't move. Move your hand. Move your hand. Open the door. Move like that. Wait. Open the door. Don't move.
The home security camera captures the third suspect come up the driveway after he's waved in by the other men.
Come on. She's right there. Look your phone. I'm not. I swear I'm not. I swear. Una pistola a mi hijo. Tienen una pistola a mi hijo. Dos morenos.
That shit crazy. The 2 kids up in there, the wife up in there. This shit crazy right here. It's like, what do you do in this moment, chat? What do you do in this moment? Where you got a gun to your 2 guns to your waist, 1 to your head, 1 to your waist, and they telling you just move, get up in the door, open the door. What do you do?
Mom, yeah. Please. Oh, Don't do anything, please.
The mother managed to call 911,
Where's the mother, not the
leaving the
wife?
line
The
open
mother.
so dispatchers could hear what was happening as the chaos unfolded.
911, what's the address for your emergency? Hello?
Oh my gosh. Give me the money. And I ain't playing. Look. I know. Hey, Mario Alberto. Come on with the money, man.
Okay. Ow! Stop playing with me. Ow! Give me the money. Okay. I'm gonna smack out you. I will give you whatever you want. Go give me the money then. Okay, that's all. Come on. You get when you move Oh too. my
Get up.
I'm getting up.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna smack out your son.
Oh, okay, I'm going.
Come on in. Okay. All right, where the money? Go get it. Get it. Go get it.
It's right here.
Get it. Come on. Open it. Don't move. Hurry up. Just hold him. Sit down. If he moves, open it. Where is that? This ain't all the man. You finna play with me, so I see I gotta go violate.
No, please
Okay.
don't. That's all the money we have.
This ain't nothing.
That's all we have.
Okay.
Ow!
All right, well.
Ow! It's all we have. Oh my God! It's all we have. Oh my God! No! Oh my God! No! It's all we have. Oh my God!
With no mercy, one of the intruders turns on the father, 39-year-old Mario Alberto Trejo Estrada, and a single shot to the head ends his life in the entryway of the home.
Oh man, I thought the shot went off when the girl or the kids were right there. I heard the shot, but somebody came into the door and, oh man.
Where are my babies?
I have money for you.
Where are my babies? Where are my babies?
I have money for you.
Yo, this is wild right here.
Where are my babies?
Another shot just happened. Oh man, another shot just went off. What the fuck happening right now? Oh. Oh, dude got up and started fighting out there. Rightfully so. But damn, what the fuck? Yo! They ain't even get no money for real. They ain't even get no. This was not worth it. This was not worth it.
The terrifying footage continues as the intruders turn their violence toward the mother and her 20-year-old son, all while the two young children are still in the home. The victims are later identified as 42-year-old Shannon Patricia Youngworth and her son, 20-year-old Jorge Alexander Reyes Youngworth. Leaving the two young children in a state of unimaginable trauma, the intruders rushed to destroy evidence before...
Damn, so they killed the mother too? And I saw when they dragged him and killed him, the 20-year-old. Ooh. Ooh, that's brutal. And the two babies were just witnessing all that. That's just, ugh.
fleeing the scene, unaware that nearly every moment of their crime had already been captured on camera. Meanwhile, inside the home, a heartbreaking act of bravery unfolds. The older child, despite being just a toddler himself, pulls his little sibling away, shielding them from the sight of their mother on the floor. A moment of pure innocence and instinct, leaving investigators and everyone who later watched this footage stunned. Just minutes later, officers arrive at the house after being dispatched to the 911 call placed by the mother, unaware of what they are about to walk into.
Police department! I heard kids screaming in there. Police department! 1409. Give us the channel for now. I got a male down on the ground. I got blood.
Can I have the police?
Hey, come here, kid. Come here, buddy. Come here, 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 come here. Yep. I think they're dead. Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. Come here, come here. Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. So, yeah, he's through the kitchen. Hey, buddy! I can see his diaper now. He's a little closer. No, he's pretty far in there. You see his diaper? See it on the ground.
I can't see past it.
Yep. Stay with the kid for now. We're going to get you another kid here in a second. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. I need you to come with me.
We're trying to get the kid out.
Come here, bud. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here.
I got candies. Come on.
Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay.
Come on.
Come here. Come here, kiddo. Come here, kiddo.
Walking 1309. You've got 2 more cars coming to the area. 31.
Come here, bud.
After rescuing the 2 young children, officers were faced with a horrifying scene. 3 victims, each killed by a gunshot wound to the head. The house was immediately secured, and investigators began meticulously collecting evidence, including physical items and surveillance footage from cameras throughout the home, in an effort to identify the perpetrators. The navy blue Nissan Altima was traced to 39-year-old Alonzo Pierre Mingo, who was arrested later that day after being spotted leaving his Fridley residence. Further investigation, including home surveillance, DNA evidence, and cell phone records, led law enforcement to the 2 other suspects, brothers Omari Malik Shumpert and Demetrius Trenton Shumpert, both of whom were arrested shortly thereafter. All the evidence, from security footage to forensic and digital data, pointed directly to the Shumpert brothers, who had tried to cover their faces, leading straight to the interrogations.
Do you know the incident I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So you have no idea about...
I know that somebody got locked up.
Who got locked up?
Somebody is a name that you saying.
Who got locked up?
The name that you saying. You said Alonzo, somebody named Alonzo or something like that.
Okay. And you know Alonzo?
Yeah, a little bit. I know of him.
Okay. You knew more of just of him, right? You guys go way back.
No.
To Chicago.
I'll say yeah.
I won't you. Don't, you know, somewhat of the same level of respect, right?
Yeah, but
we do our
like you saying way back, like basically like friends, anything like that? No.
Not friends.
No.
All right. But you've known him all the way back to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living now?
Huh?
Where are you living now?
Over in Minneapolis.
When's the last time you talked with Alonzo?
I'm gonna say like a month ago or something like that.
A month ago?
Like a month and a half, I think.
A month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot. So that was already on camera. That was already put on the news. It already showed Alonzo shooting a person. Okay? I don't know if I explained it well to you or not, but the more information I tell you, the less you can tell me to help.
No, but I was saying you can't tell me about that because I heard about it. The whole world know about it.
Sure.
That's everywhere you go. Hey, you heard about what happened? Somebody got killed in Coon Rapids. 4 or 5 people. How many more people got killed? I don't know.
Okay.
So what did I do?
You were there.
Wasn't there.
You were. I mean, you're probably not going to take my word for it or anything, but I'm not lying to you. I'm not making stuff up. We had the pull camera. Well, we didn't. Somebody had a pull camera in the house. When we see you pull up, we see the 3 of you get out, walk up to the house, just you and Alonzo. He knocks on the door. You don't come to the door at first, and you start walking away. As you guys are partway down the street, or partway down the driveway, he comes outside, so you guys walk back. Okay? On the door there was a camera. And you had gloves on, you had a mask on, but we're still able to tell it's you.
With a mask on.
Yeah. Okay. And then, who'd you wave up?
I didn't wave nobody.
You're sitting in the car and you waved him up.
You said I was sitting in the car?
No, he was sitting in the car. The third person was sitting in the car and you waved him up.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was with no mask on, but it showed it wasn't me. You didn't ask me where was I at, or was I somewhere else, or nothing.
Where were you? I know where you were, but where were you? And then I'll follow up on that. And
you know I was there already, right? That what you said?
I do, but if you're saying you're somewhere else, you tell me where you were, who you talked to, and I'll follow up with them and rule you out. That's only fair, right?
That's crazy. You say on the 13th?
The 26th. January 26th.
I know I wasn't there. I wasn't at nobody else. I wasn't at nobody's house.
Okay. We go in a crime scene, the whole 9 yards. You're touching your face. You're hitting the little...
Can I see?
Yeah, I'll grab them.
You said I'm hitting what?
You're touching your face. You got a mask on. Yeah. You're touching your face. You're touching the lizard cage. You're touching your face. You're touching different areas. You're breathing through the mask. Okay? We're getting to the point of the evidence is mounting up so high, it's hard to get out from it. Okay? There's also audio. And you can be heard on there saying, ain't no big dog, is it?
What?
Ain't no big dog, is it?
What do that mean? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet.
You tell me. Can you say that?
Why would I say it? What do that mean?
That's what you said when you were there. And you also have a very distinct voice.
I don't say nothing like that. I don't know what that means. What do that mean?
Oh, that's just what you said when you're walking up and you're talking
Why would you want me to say it?
To the guy in the driveway.
Why would you want me to say it?
So that I can compare it to what I heard on the video. Right?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay. I'm just saying...
You saying you knew I was there already, so why you want me to say it?
Well,
anything.
I can say that you're there all day. And I can prove that you were there, and I can prove what happened because...
You can prove I was there? Sure.
Yeah, because everything is on video, man.
26. Yeah, the 26th. That's the 26th. That's the day I couldn't go to work because I had my baby with me.
Okay.
And my baby mama, she wasn't trying to come get him. And I didn't go to work on that day.
Man, fuck this guy. Throw him under the jail. Throw this lying piece of shit under the jail.
Okay. Where were you?
I was in the house.
Is that what you're going to go with? That's what you're going to stick with? You were never at the house or anything?
No, I wasn't at the house. I see the photos that you got?
Yeah, I can get you still photos of it. Doing good? You still want me to get warm water or cold water? Alright. Give me this one. You can grab it, you can hold it if you want.
I don't hold it.
You don't need to?
And that supposed to be me? Or somebody else?
I know it's you. I can print off a couple more, but I don't know if that's going to convince you or not. But just so you know, I'm not lying to you.
I know you ain't lying.
On any of this. Okay?
All three suspects in the Coon Rapids triple homicide were indicted on multiple counts of first-degree murder, upgrading their initial charges of second-degree murder. Alonzo Pierre Mingo, identified as the alleged gunman, was found guilty by a jury on multiple counts, including 4 counts of first-degree murder. In September 2025, Mingo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Demetrius Trenton Shumpert, who participated as an accomplice in the robbery, was indicted on 6 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors sought an aggravated sentence against him, citing the particularly cruel treatment of the victims, the involvement of 3 or more active participants, and the fact that the crime occurred in the presence of 2 minor children. On November 20th, 2025, Demetrius Shumpert was found guilty on all counts of first-degree murder and faces the same mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole when he is sentenced in January of 2026. The third co-defendant, Omari Malik Shumpert, was convicted in December 2025 on 5 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of second-degree murder, and 2 counts of aggravated robbery. He is also scheduled to be sentenced in January 2026. For exclusive clips and behind-the-scenes content, join us on patreon.com/MidwestCrime.
W. I'm glad. Life without parole. Put their ass under the jail. As it should be. Put their ass under the jail. I don't want to end it on no sad note. I kind of don't want to end it on no sad note. So I'm going to play this real quick. It's a couple bars from the boy O Solo. Just something to go out on, you know?
Why baba loo bop, your guns don't shoot. You know what's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One's big and heavy, the other's a little lighter.
Rule number 1. Solo keeps the gun. Rule number 2. Bitch, don't forget rule number 1.
Let's go. Here we go.
Cops are not dumping. Yeah. The block and I am from it. Shots through the first floor, you probably know who done that. Mac for the grown-ups, the kids get the nugget. Lights, cameras, action. That's the life of an actor. White boy with a Jesus piece. What's that? Christ on a cracker. The most electrified. Get your nigga hands off. The most electrified. Places, people, before the song starts, you know after the left hook, dude gone dark. And if the right swing, wrong part. I loaned your people some money, had to hit your crib up with the loan shark. Caught your auntie on the couch with a plastic spoon eating a box of cornstarch. Watching General Hospital letting out these long farts. You look like your father was the person that wrote that song for that girl. Since you've been gone. Out on these streets, not enough comes back. And it's a fucked up fact. In the pen, you can get stabbed over 7 sugars and 2 mustard packs. If Dre say I ain't the best, the shit is lies. You see what I did to Kane. I told Dre I turned one of them white pies into nigger pie. In my city, you know what niggas detest? Eatness? Lack of boundaries and self-respect. See, in the game, there's no do-overs or resets. So before you say you wasn't at none of Puffy parties, bitch, we check. And I guess when Puffy was putting the hammer on your knee, he wasn't checking for reflex. Little Starlight hit him in his head and left him cold steel. The cops didn't find him till December. That bitch was cold steel. One thing for certain, I don't fucking tell. When I was 11, I turned 13 because I don't fuck with 12. That means I'm not a rat. I'm from where you kick niggas and flip triggers. Fuck it, if you don't die, you disfigured. Fuck all them stick figures, you bitch nigga. Drop a 72-inch flat screen on your head to see if you get the big picture. Oh, got it? Oh, get it. Oh, not it? Oh, with it. Oh, king. Carry the torch. 5 rings? Olympic. Oh, up? Oh, live it. Oh, ballsy? Oh, pivot. Oh, damn. Oh, money? Pockets fat? Oh, Ozempic. Oh, not this again. If you wasn't running your mouth, you would have kept your teeth. And balls spelled backwards, you get S-O-B. When those solo hit a body, they like, let's go see. Because that bullshit that you stand on, you should rest your feet. I don't really want to do this to you, but I got to do it because you kind of made me. Big back, picking it. Me and my homies minding our business, fishing it, so we can come up on some more dividends. First we was lacking while other people was getting it, and most didn't want to come smoke, because they was sniffing it. I chill with Chunky and Lane. We always kicking it. If pussies came through thinking we pussy, we stuck our dick in it. Hey, Kane, bruises need bandages. Jaws need gauze. Bitches get stitches if your dogs get involved. Quick question. What kind of dressing you like on your knuckle sandwich? I want all the smoke. I'm cancerous, bitch. I'm from a time where you ain't know who was on the phone until you answered the shit.
Talk to him on Solo. I'm from a time where you ain't know who was on the phone until you answered this shit. They say have caller ID. You just pick that bitch up. Who is it? Oh my goodness. The homie O Solo battle rap. Check him out one day if you get a chance. I just wanted to edit over some funny shit because I ain't want it over depressing. We are here to progress in 2026. We are here to have fun in 2026. We are here to have good positive vibes. We're here to have good chill vibes in 2026. I'm going to be here more often, way more often. I'm loving this look here now we got. I'm going to be here way more often. And like I said, sign up to the Patreon. If you would like to donate to the pod, that is the Cash App there. I'm going to get on out of here because I got to get my ass up in the morning. I'm tired. I will see y'all again tomorrow night and the rest of the week, I should say. Because you'll see my ass. You'll see the videos. Got to put the videos out from the pod. I got to clean my... the shit keep reminding me I got to clean up the space on here, so... I definitely it's to the point now I can't even see the pictures of my shit. So I gotta do some cleansing in the space in the RAM of this shit. So anywho, get my ass up out of here. It's been real, y'all. I love y'all. And I'm gonna end it off with the song of the year. Matter of fact, I don't know why I don't have the cover up here. I should have had the cover up here. That's why they call it live from the spot, you know. But anywho, let me get my ass on up out of here. Play the song of the year to end us out of here. Take it away, Smokey. Been real, y'all. Shout out to everybody who was tuning in. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year, Simon Says. Lord the Baller. Medusa, DJ B again. Life was Sneaker Mama, King Ozma. The Misa.
When I look at you, it makes me
Till next
feel
time, y'all.
better than good.
I love y'all.
And what I see is you and me together forever.
That's right.
I'm knocking on wood.
Peace.
Every kind of gasm in the book. Each eye has them. Every time I take a look, you give me gasm. Eye gasms. You're the one responsible for my gasms. Gasm, gasm. Gasm, gasm. what it is you really do.
A bullshit? A bullshit?